And go. Here we are. Hi.
And go.
Oh, come on. He can't even remember to mute it. Does he know what he's doing? He looks confused. How many times am I going to pull off that same old joke? It's going to get tired after a while. Yeah, well, Ken's talking to me in my ear, responding to everything I'm saying right now. I'm not sure if he realizes that he's not on the air yet. He's muted, and he's just doing all kinds of things in my ear to try to distract me. Like any of you are surprised at that. So, welcome everybody. Let's see, what do we got here? 10 people, and I've got to go take care of business. So I come over here and hit stream settings and then enable DVR. I've got chat windows popped out on both of those computers. I got the watch on the table. So let's have a audio-visual check and DVR check from the chat, please, and I'll bring Ken in right away so that you can include that too. So switch over to, oops, he's already admitted. And all I got to do is unmute him and push the Zoom button. There he is. Hi, Ken.
Doug?
All right. So let's see. I see some stuff in chat. BH Ringer is telling everybody to hit the like button. Thank you so much. All good here. AV good from Ida. And let's see. She said AV, but Tony says DVR okay. Thank you, Tony. Did that cover everything? Yeah.
Pretty much. How's my audio?
All done. Your audio? How is Ken's audio? Chat room. Ken, what camera are you using?
A C170 Logitech.
It's interesting that it shows it's the narrower format. The square format, it looked like a cell phone.
Right. Yeah, I don't know.
But you're fine. You're fine. Doesn't matter. No, we don't need to see the rest of the stuff beside you. The staff that you have on each side of you, prompting things into your ear, telling you what to say. We don't need to see them. All right. Bill from Sony TV here. Let's see if I get this up okay. Yeah, that's showing all right. Bill from Sony TG3. I've been watch Carey Holzman told about you. Thank you, Bill. Good to see you here. I think that's the first time I recognize Bill's name. What else we got in chat? Anything else we need to hit up? I know those two oranges are from Ken. And the rest prior is people chit-chatting back and forth. So I'm not going to read through all of those. There's Sam Lazar's here. Hi, Sam. Jeff Ryman. Hello, Jeff. From Lost Wages, Nevada. B. Tringer. Hello. Saying good. Hello. Tony Wallow. Hello. Again. And Ida. And Bill. Darren. Gary. And Tavi is here. Hello, yeah, everybody. Glad to see you here. I'm showing 13 current viewers, 7 likes. Off to a good start. So I got something to do a little show and tell before we get started on Ken's subject matter today. We're going to be dealing with junk mail. That Ken's interested in finding ways to manage a junk mail, and I have some, and I've got some, what, stand at the lectern and spout out philosophies, a la Carey Holzman style. Yeah, in the sense of some things about this that I think people sometimes go the wrong direction or a hazardous direction. So we'll talk about that a little bit. Let's see. I'm gonna do a video not too long from now on this package. Just enjoy. It's a wireless speaker for cell phones. For speakerphone for cell phones. Or a friend of mine said, Doug, can you help me with turn up the volume on my cell phone. Well, no, it can't get any louder than it is. I think he's in his early 90s and a little hard of hearing. So I thought, oh, I'll try that and see how that goes. But here's another thing that I bought. Let's see. Let's go to this camera. Right here. You recognize what that is? This can recognize what this is?
Lazy Susan?
Yes, sir. It's a Lazy Susan. Why on earth would Doug want a Lazy Susan? So here we see it this way, and then from this camera. Some of the comments about this Lazy Susan said it's noisy. Can you hear that?
You can hear it when you first started.
Yeah, the microphone might be cutting out the background noise, but when you put a lot of weight on it, it's not as loud. So, what on earth am I going to do with this? And I thought, well, one thing I could do is I could do this with keyboards. You know how I get in trouble with keyboards. So I could turn it around and do the keyboard that I'm wanting to use. Is that it? Does anybody in chat have an idea of what I want to do with this? It's not keyboards. Uh-oh, I'm in trouble now. Where do the keyboards go? No, this keyboard goes over here. This one over here. Am I going to start building more custom computers and have them on my desk here and rotate them around? Would that be something to do with it? Nope, that's not it either. So what's going on in chat room? Any idea? Gary says graphite to make it quieter. Jim, Metalite, hi Jim. Build a computer from Bill. Tony, build a PC. Sam, spin things around. Well, that's generic enough that, yeah, that would be correct. But what things? Javi says start building computers. Nope, that's not going to be it. Let's see. Bill says Lazy Sue. Ida, Lazy Susan. Sam had blocked email accounts for a client yesterday. He wanted to block certain people, junk mail. Okay, so that's kind of sound like he's up the same line that part of what we'll do today. So that's all it's been saying about the Lazy Susan. Nobody's actually got it yet.
Oh, Sam's technically correct. You are going to spin something, I would guess.
Yeah, spin something. That's pretty generic.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm kind of trying to give you a little clue. Is anybody picking up on the clue? Not at all.
Nope.
Decorate cakes from Gary. Ah, there you go. No, not that. Jeff Ryman, Ken Stout. Oh, Jeff just subscribed to your channel. So nobody's understanding my clue. Let's see, I wonder if I can...
You surely aren't going to put the ball on top of the Lazy Susan so that you can spin around.
Why not?
Well, I got to watch this. You got my attention.
You thought that would not be likely, right?
I'm thinking it wouldn't be.
Do you hear the noises that this ball makes as I turn?
It's about the same as what the Lazy Susan. Well, you know what? Maybe your Lazy Susan wasn't making noise. It was the ball you're sitting on.
No, the Lazy Susan was. It's pretty loud when it doesn't have any weight on it. But the ball, and I don't know how much you're hearing the ball through the microphone, because the microphone might be. But I have the noise filtering stuff turned off because at least I had turned on. I'm checking to see if they're still turned off, because that makes my computer work harder when it's trying to do the noise canceling stuff. So let's see, where is that at? General. I'm looking at my audio settings now on the streamer. Audio preview, delay, range, microphone. Oh, let's see, here's a gear icon for the microphone. Noise gate, yeah. Noise suppression and noise gate are both unselected. So you should be hearing the actual sound, but it's really loud to me. So let's show this. Let's see, I'm gonna go camera 3, and there's my ball. So when I turn like that, it makes a lot of noise. So I can put this on the ground. You might see on the carpet there the rings where it's already been there, because I've been using this for a few days. So put that guy down there and stand on it. It's quiet. None of that roller bearing noise anymore. I can put the ball on it. I can sit down, and I got me a swivel, a swivel chair ball. So that's it. I'm liking it. Let's get this microphone back. This camera back where it belongs. I don't hear Ken anymore. He's speechless. Dumbfounded.
I'm going to say the same thing about the lottery tonight. When I buy my ticket, I'm going to say, there's no way I'm winning the lottery. Tomorrow I'm going to wake up and that'll happen. It's like, okay, quick story. My mom and I were talking Sunday about the Indianapolis Colts, and they're horrible, but they weren't playing on Sunday. And I said, well, maybe they're playing Monday night. And I thought, at the same time, she said, no, they're not playing on Monday night because they're a horrible football team. They are. They played Monday night.
Wow.
Couldn't believe it. They're still horrible.
All right. Well, I'm not a fan. I'm not following that, so I don't know. Let's catch up here what other people said. Yep, not for building computers, not for decorating cakes. Put it under the ball from Chavit. That's right. Dance on top from Ida. I have a service where I can build computers for clients. I would use cases parts I already have. New parts I need to get. No clients want to take my offer as they rather a laptop. Yeah, I think it'd be kind of hard pressed to sell custom built computers to people who don't already have a desire that direction. But anywho, if you can, go for it. Build clients for Gary to Sam. Gary builds clients for computers. Really? Well, that's surprising. I didn't realize that. With Sam, with my client, he did not have a block option on his webmail client, so I told him and gave a vague step-by-step instructions to block on his iPhone. Tony says, cool. Javi, now you are taller by 3 inches. Yeah, well, I think it's about 1.5 inches probably. Blackwatch taking the day off. Yeah, I haven't heard from him. And, oh, Gary, that was a joke to Sam about building computers, I imagine. All right, so shall I start with my lecture?
Yep.
I don't think I can nearly compete with Carey for lecturability, but here's actually the title of the video. So yeah, let's bring that up. So here's a video, and that's going to start doing the picture-in-picture mirror thing in a moment. So smart methods to reduce spam email. Ken Stout has saved a bunch of junk emails. We demonstrate ways of managing and reducing spam email that are safer and have better long-term results than adding yet another utility program on your computer which adds extra load and risk. So then I got a little bit of an outline here of some things that I want to be sure that we cover. I've heard in many conversations with people in the past, when the subject of junk mail comes up, they start talking about, well, I like this product or this product or this product. They're installing usually a free software that will manage their junk mail and show move their junk mail messages or messages identified junk mail into another folder or delete it. Well, there's a lot of that capability built into the email clients now. And the thing I wanted to kind of get out on the table is, with all of the troubles that Microsoft and Apple and Google have with vulnerabilities being discovered in their software and their operating systems and such, and they have to send out patches, and they all have bug bounty programs where they actually pay hackers to inform them about these bugs or security vulnerabilities in their software. Security vulnerabilities exist just about any time somebody creates a software program. Now, if you go pick up one of these free programs off of the internet to do just about anything, in this case we're talking about managing spam, but it can even be antivirus, it can be whatever other free utilities or tools, are those companies offering bug bounty programs for hackers to discover vulnerabilities and problems with their software so that they can fix them and then fix them. And what I'm saying is, no, usually they're not. So their programs, their software are very vulnerable to security breaches that perhaps never get discovered. And except for the black hat hackers on the internet, the actual evildoers, they'll learn those, discover those vulnerabilities and use them. So you can get your computer compromised without ever discovering it until it becomes known, and then whatever antivirus product you're using comes up with a way to catch it, to see it. But these vulnerabilities that Microsoft and Apple and Google are falling victim to, those are oftentimes getting past the antivirus programs because they haven't been discovered yet. And a lot of times it's more, it can be just rather than a virus infection, just a flaw in the reasoning or the strategy of how a program is designed. We went through a big thing this last year over printers with that for Microsoft, and actually Microsoft, it turned out, had known about that vulnerability for a long time, and people's computers and companies were falling victim to that, not even knowing it. So with spam filtering software, you have, if you're picking up one of those free programs, even the paid programs, you're just adding more workload on your computer, more stuff for your computer to do all the time. And then if you're not managing it proactively yourself, it's probably going to start blocking messages that you do want to get. So my philosophy on this is just learn the features within the email client or the email account that is already there and available for you to use, and start using those methods. So I don't even know what email client you're using, Ken. You're about to show us because we're going to connect to your computer. I'm already connected to your computer. We started that going. And let's see, did I think I got distracted. Uh-oh, we're going to have to do that again, Ken.
We're not connected?
No, because I neglected to click through things because I got distracted and didn't finish up that remote.
Oh, the waiting time, yeah.
Yeah. So if you'll have to go back to that website again, log me in 123, and I'll give you a new 6-digit code.
Yep, go ahead.
And create PIN code 236723. And then very quickly it'll show up in the background here as it's starting that connection. So then I can close this window. And when this changes to the word waiting, then I have to do another click. And that's what I wasn't paying attention to last time. There it is, waiting, right click and start. In fact, I don't even remember hearing the ding. I was so distracted. And then launch remote connection. Here we go, coming up.
You should have control. Yep,
I've got control. I'm gonna move your thumbnail down. And let's see, let's go see what else has happened in chat before we start working on your computer. So bring that screen up. There's, okay, so here's, now again, I'm gonna just look for the orange things. I hate webmail from Sam. Tell you what, Sam, I stuck with Outlook for a long time, but then when I switched over to using Gmail, I am really liking it.
Yeah, I switched from Yahoo to Gmail because in the beginning I wasn't getting anything. Now it seems like I get 2 and 3 a day.
Okay. And Jim says, when Verizon was handling their own email servers, I would get spam constantly. When AOL took over the servers, 95-98% of the spam stopped. Okay. And let's see. Oh, Sam is saying that is some of the things I am learning about at university, bug bounty programs. Cool. Then Jim, that tells me Verizon had no spam filters engaged on their server. Yeah, earlier days, none of the email providers had much available for spam filters. Saying good, if it's free, you are the product. If the product is free, then you are the product. Now, that's true with my channel, isn't it, Ken?
What's that?
If the service is free, such as me helping people with their computer issues.
Right.
So, from your perspective, if the product is free, if the service is free, either service or product, if the service is free, then you are the product. Do you know how that is true on my channel? I don't want to deceive anybody about that. When they come into my channel for me to provide free help, you are the product because I'm creating videos to be out there.
Right.
Shows which you've got your face, your computer in my videos, and my videos are starting to make a little bit of money, not much, but that definitely is you are the product. And as long as you understand that you are the product in any environment, that's fine.
Yeah, that's,
if you understand that. Well, yeah, always. If the product or service is free, then you are the product. The only extension I have on Microsoft Office is Zoom and Grammarly spell check. Yeah, so also avoid extensions because they make your computer work harder, and they have vulnerabilities and possibly even intrusions that are designed into the product because you are the product in the eyes of the people who created that. Sam, I have limited startup programs on my laptop with Norton Antivirus. See, I even take issue that Norton Antivirus is making your computer work too hard. And if you're not really managing it, then you're probably not getting the value that you think you are from it. If you are really utilizing the extra things that Norton Antivirus could do, and you place value on those, then that's fine. But if it's just for antivirus, I think you're just making your computer work too hard. Jim, now when I bother to log into email via the web, I take a look at the spam folder online. I get a good laugh at most of it. Yeah, that's right. Third-party email client, TeamViewer and UltraViewer. Yeah, so those are also free products and can have vulnerabilities and not what I consider to be a smart way to go. I have a client who dropped a paid version of LogMeIn to start using free version of TeamViewer. I advised them against that, and they've gotten caught a couple times by TeamViewer, where TeamViewer shuts them down saying, you're using that for commercial purposes, it's against our policies, and then they just turn around and re-engage it. And it's a security vulnerability, because I promise you, the bad guy hackers out there, they know of vulnerabilities of TeamViewer that they can utilize, and we don't hear about it. TeamViewer doesn't hear about it because nobody's paying them to reveal those vulnerabilities. Jim, we control the horizontal, we control the vertical. I need help on that one, Ken. That's over my head. What does that mean?
It's a reference to either the Twilight Zone, which I don't think it is. There's another show that was similar to the Twilight Zone, whose the name of that's escaping me, but it's reference to a television show.
Okay.
And I don't think it's Twilight Zone. I could be wrong.
Okay.
Night Gallery. Yeah.
Night Gallery. Yeah. When they're controlling your equipment, I guess, is what he's after there.
If I remember right, when it first came on, they showed the horizontal and it would change. They showed the vertical and it would change. And they say, we control everything, the horizontal and vertical. That's a decent show.
All right. Let's see. Then
Outer Limits. Oh, now, so was it the Outer Limits or Night Gallery?
Yeah, I don't know. Not going to worry about it. Use Yahoo with Mailbird. So Mailbird sounds like an extra add-on to use on top of the client. My Yahoo, I haven't tried to do any management on my Yahoo account, so I don't know if they have any extra stuff there, but I have a Yahoo account that I never look at that's been around for maybe decades that has a ton of junk mail. Gary, Ken, most email is free until you are charged. Most email or most email management programs? There is such thing as free is a cost to use it. I think there's a word missing there. I think he's probably saying there's no such thing as free. There is a cost to use it. Yeah. Always use IMAP over POP3. Oh, use IMAP instead of POP3. Yeah. Well, is that going to make it? I don't think that's going to make a change to a difference for your junk mail, but there are, if you're using multiple devices, then IMAP has advantages over POP3. I'm not sure what else Sam may be referring to there. Last time it made me think of Final Jeopardy, Norton Antivirus Extension. I know I'm doing more than the orange right now, but that's because there's a lot of response to the current subject matter. Norton McAfee or Resource Pigs. Yeah, there you go. Only use Norton Antivirus as Dad pays for it. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure if you're doing yourself a favor for that, unless you're really using the extra features of it. You want to load up my Exchange. Let's see, Gary. You want to load up my Exchange server, IMAP. You want to load up my Exchange server, IMAP. Do you want to load up my Exchange? Not sure there. TeamViewer uses their own web servers to connect to your PC. And that doesn't give us any promise that they're not vulnerable. Or maybe he's saying that is it's more of a risk because they're using their own servers. I'm not sure what direction he's going at there. Mailspring, then Thunderbird. Okay, so let's get to the point. Going back to your computer, Ken. So Ken, you've been pretty free and loose with allowing stuff on your computer and your mail to be seen. So when you want me to blurb when you're about to click on something, or I'm about to click on something, feel free to speak up, and I might just go ahead and do it anyway.
Yeah, we're good.
Ready to go to your email account and see what's up?
Well, here I already got it up and running.
Oh, and it is Gmail.
Right. This is the folder I created. I've been throwing things over into it, and all of these showed up on my regular if I go over here, inbox,
Yeah.
and then I'm like, well, I don't want to delete them, so I just moved them over there. So if I go back down to that, the only one that may or may not be not what I think it is this one from Wells Fargo, because it looked hinky, and I always call them when I get hinky things. But all of this other, like this recent order of $449,
Yeah.
no, it's junk.
All right.
It doesn't say what it's for. Oh, Norton. I guess it's from Norton. I don't know. But I know I'm not calling or clicking that number.
Well, no, wait a minute. We got better clues there. That is absolutely not from Norton. Now I want you to tell us why.
My first guess would be it's from Rabbi Bopara 898 at Gmail.
Yes, absolutely not from Norton. And just because it's wanting you to call a phone number, that's a big, big clue. That is not Norton. Definitely, this is a scam.
Right.
Invoice your recent order of $449.98, and I'm deducing you did not order $449 worth of something from Norton. So definitely a scam.
Right.
Now,
no, I clearly did not do that. And then I don't know, the Madeira vaccine survey, that could be legitimate. I haven't. That was the only one I looked at, so we can look at them. That's from USGP, JVC, whatever. I can't read it.
No reply at. So again here, just because of that email address, after the at symbol, there's an at symbol right there. It's even hard to spot the at symbol.
Yeah.
And they could be more than one at symbol. And what we care about is the at symbol that immediately precedes the domain name. And we want to be sure that the domain name, we're recognizing it not just because it's left of the period, but that after the period is the top level domain, in this case .org. So this is definitely a bogus domain name.
Right.
And using a .org as a top level domain is more of a misdirection or a scam, a trick. Because a legitimate organization is going to use such a junky looking domain name.
Experian probably, even though I don't have a membership with Experian, car insurance, quote, I don't, whatever. The Wells Fargo
you don't need to thumb through those any further. Let's go ahead and start looking at some things now. The fact that you already moved these into a subfolder kind of works against us a little bit.
I can put them back.
Yeah, I'd rather. Now I want to pay attention to what dates they are. They're going back to September 23rd. Yeah, let's go ahead and put them back into your inbox because
now that I've opened my big mouth.
And it's just those, well, it looks like 8 or 9 of them, something like that. 9 of them. All right.
Yep, there they all are.
Okay. Yeah, and they're still highlighted because when you move them, they'll
they get remarked as not read.
Selected. Now I got the mouse for a minute. I want to take a look at what folders your Gmail has already given you. So here's a scroll bar. I'm going to scroll down. There's, this is the folder that you did. It's showing
I created.
Showing there's still 6 in there. Did you copy them or did you move them?
I went here and checked the box up here at the top.
Yeah.
Then I went over to move, and then I went down to the inbox, which
okay. Well, these are identified right here as inbox. It's telling you that they're in the inbox here. But the way that Gmail does these folders, it's essentially a flag, so that you can actually have emails that are in multiple folders. So these emails now are in the inbox and they're still in this scam folder.
Okay.
Spam scan folder. But we do have them in the inbox, so that is sufficient. Now see here, like on this one right here, this Rabbi Para, it's showing that it's got a flag that it's in the spam scam folder as well as still in the inbox.
Right.
So
You can delete that folder if you want.
I'm kind of interested in doing that, but that's not an important thing to us. Up here, here's the X to take that out of that folder. So now it's no longer in that folder.
Yep, it's fun.
I wonder if we can do that on multiples. So let's see. Here's 2 of them that are in that. Can we remove that check mark from those label as? Yeah, see, label as. When I go into here, I can remove that label. So does that take it off? Yeah, it was these 2. That label still seems to be there.
Yeah, it's still there.
Okay. I haven't tried doing this before. So I'm clicked on those. Label as. If I click on that. Oh, here's the apply button.
Gone.
That's it. So that took them off. So then if we go down to that scam spam folder, see, now it shows 4, and then click on the select all for that. It's probably an easier way to do that, but if I go down here to label as, remove that check mark and apply, does that take them all out of there? Yeah,
yep.
It does. I'm sure there's other ways to do that might have been, well, different or easier depending upon circumstances at the time. So what I wanted to see is does your Gmail account have automatically already a spam junk folder?
Yep.
Yeah, right there. So this is Gmail already moving this stuff to spam. This stuff has already been taken away from your sites. Well, now look at this one. That says still in there. Does that make sense to you that these 3 are saying they're still?
No, there's 3 of them that makes no sense whatsoever, but.
Okay, going back up here to be sure. Nothing there. I wonder if you have another folder by that same name somewhere.
Shouldn't have.
Come back down here to that. Did I pass it? Yeah, spam. This should be the spam that Gmail is moving for you. Do you recognize these messages as ones that you have already moved yourself?
The provide auto one I probably put in that one I created, and I don't know about the para quanta injury or not. It says I don't remember doing that one, but
all right, well, fine. Now we got those off, but these should be things that Gmail has moved in the spam folder already for you, and you never even looked at them to judge them. Wait a minute, you got one in here from Blackwatch.
It says I did that, and I know I did not move that, but it said I moved it.
All right. Well,
so I just left it.
I'm reluctant to open it and look at, because there's probably something in the content of it that caused Gmail to flag that as spam.
That's clean. There was because I thought the same thing. I'm like, there's nothing here.
I don't think it's okay for me to open that up?
Sure.
All right.
And then the other thing that's troubling is it caught some of those, but it's not catching the ones that we put back into the main inbox. Makes no sense.
That's because not enough people in Gmail environment have reported it as spam. And I can't say that I've researched that, but that's my deduction. Because I have the same thing. I still get some junk mail that isn't caught by this Gmail spam filter, but then yeah, I believe that it is kind of lightweight in what it does. So here's why is this message spam? You reported this message as spam from your inbox.
Right, and that's I
And
didn't.
you did not. Now I
No.
had that happen myself. I discovered a message in my spam folder within the last day or two as I was thinking about doing this session with you that was actually from a client of mine. And there's no way that I reported it as spam. Now, it contained content that may have been flagged by other people as spam. Whether or not be particular clouds, I did not think. Now, I could see that Gmail could have an algorithm that might flag this as spam because it's kind of nonsensical. But we know that's kind of Blackwatch anyway. It's kind of how some of his messages are. The weather may not be, but I am now, it is me. My storms are no longer raging, but subdued to mere nothingness. Gmail, Google in general, it has algorithms and artificial intelligence that actually reads content to make judgments about it. No longer clouds, rather darkness beyond measures. I did think of a montage to make a screensaver, perhaps what was. I now left all these years. See, I think Blackwatch writes these things and it actually makes sense and communicates meaning in his mind. I have to struggle at figuring out what he's saying, and I've told him this. I've gave up on trying to figure out when you start talking like this, it's harder than Shakespeare to me, and I do not get along with Shakespeare. Does Willie Nelson's "You Were Always on My Mind" suggest where my thoughts and memories now lead and leave me? Cough now, so worsened, and the neighbors no doubt question the sanity. See, that all sounds like I could easily understand why an AI might flag that as spam. Now, if you want to train Gmail to not flag Blackwatch stuff as spam, then you want to definitely click this button here. And,
Well, that's the only one of his that ever got put in that folder.
Yeah, and I'm suspecting it's because it's just nonsensical to everyone except Blackwatch. And Blackwatch, you know I'm not dissing on you, but I hope he knows me well enough to know that. And to acknowledge that I acknowledge that his writings are not boring. Not standardized. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I just leave that without clicking that button?
Oh, that's fine.
All right. Leave that to you later. So, one thing that I find useful that I'll start with here is going into the settings for your Gmail. And before we do that, we should get an idea how much mail we've got here that's showing up in your inbox. If I scroll down, let's see, what is it? It shows here somewhere how much we've got. See, down here we got 3.91 gigabytes of 15 gigabytes used. Over here, last account activity.
If you check the box at the top, I think it marks them all.
Yeah, it marks everything that's on this page. It doesn't mark the next page.
And there should not the last entry is that VA me free national park passes. That is the last entry in my email.
We'll use that as a guide. So
there's not a page 2, and I'm holding on to that because I fully intend to use my VA benefits to get a free pass to the national park.
Oh yeah, here it is up here. 1 through 21 of 21. So there's not another page. You have a pretty clean inbox then. As opposed to me.
Are we in the thousands?
People, are you kidding me? So
tens of thousands.
This starts with Hilton Honors, And actually the 21 is probably sufficient. 21 messages, so I'm making me some notes there. So yeah, I'll go ahead and switch over to my email. I have no idea what's going to show up there, but I
Those of you not sitting, I recommend sitting down.
sitting down. Yeah, right. Over here, 29,673 in my inbox.
Gosh. Unread or read?
Well, that's not saying unread is shown over here in the inbox, 2,933 unread. So I typically do read, get everything marked as read that's on my first page. I don't bother with what's on pages beyond that. But this is just my inbox, my primary. And what we're about to go do is look at social and promotions. So here when I click on social, this shows 18,427. When I click on promotions, there's 33,540. So that number for 29,000, that was just in my primary tab. I don't even try to manage all the stuff. I let the automated processes of Gmail do that for me. And then if we get, let's see, if I scroll all the way down, what does it say about my storage space? 16 gigabytes of 30 gigabytes used. So my email is using up 16 gigabytes of space. And I don't care, because I just allow Gmail to manage that, and I do some management. We're going to get into that too. My spam folder, my Gmail spam folder here has 61 messages, and they only go back to September 15th, and that's because this spam folder automatically deletes things after, I think it's 30 days. Yeah, since that just goes back to September 15th. But this is where I did find something from a client of mine, which was surprising. And I do not go look at that to check. Now, with the other spam management softwares that I've tried in the past and that I've had clients that were using, we've always had to go check to see if it was had false positive. Was it blocking messages that you need? And in my mind, you might as well check them all in your inbox. If you're going to have to go look them all in a spam folder, you're still doing just as much work, actually perhaps a little bit more work, because you're having to go to a second folder. Let's go take a look at what people have been hitting me up in orange. There's my last highlighted comment. I do have timestamps turned on. So the next orange, email stays on the server with IMAP and POP3. It's deleted when downloaded. Let's see. So that's with POP3, your email downloads to your computer wherever your PST file is stored, and it does not stay on the server. Yes, it stays on the server with IMAP. And it is deleted when, let's see, email stays on the server with IMAP and is deleted when downloaded. I think he's saying with POP3, it's deleted when downloaded. Now with POP3, there's a checkbox that you can change that configuration. So you can tell it to not delete from the server when you delete it from your mail client, such as Outlook. Now, if you do, the reason for doing that is because if you have another computer that you do want to receive that email, then you would want to unselect that. And I've had situations with clients where we've wanted to do that. I like IMAP over POP3 just for the purpose of being able to get that email on multiple devices, management on multiple devices. So if I'm standing in the line at McDonald's, boy, that's been a long time. Thank you very much. No. Haven't done McDonald's for a long time. But anyway, if you're out in the world somewhere and you pull up your email and delete it, I want it to delete that message from all my devices. Whereas from POP3, that does not happen unless your other device has not yet downloaded it. You know what? It takes a while. It would take a while to fully explain that correct. But the features of how IMAP and POP3 operate, there's several different aspects to that. It takes a while to explain. But far preferable to my way of living is Exchange Server and Microsoft 365. Let's leave that for later. Gary says, at Sam Lazar, to me and Sam, Windows Defender ransomware antivirus protection, it works quite well. Absolutely. I have zero reasons to recommend somebody use an antivirus product other than Windows Defender if they're on Windows 10 or higher. I do have some clients still on Windows 7. So they need an additional antivirus product because Windows Defender does not do a good enough job, clearly. But Windows Defender doesn't slow the computer down like the other products do. So Windows Defender, ransomware. Now, however, there are some features that you should turn on with Windows Defender. By default, it has a moderate level of protection. You can turn on extra protections in Windows 10. Continuing down, I use Outlook.com for email, normally with a Thunderbird client. I haven't seen any spam in months, but I get real mail marked as spam that I have to go move to the inbox. So there is some training involved, but after you spend a while of training, training your email client, you should not have to do as much of that. The problem I have with employees who sign up for something legit like Joke of the Day, Health of the Day, absolutely, that is a problem. And even the music things that they do for free, when employees in an office start loading on this additional free stuff because they think it doesn't harm anything. They don't realize there's risk to it, and it slows the computers down, and it slows the network down for the entire office. I had a client who had a fairly slow internet service and a bunch of employees streaming Netflix and other streaming services during their lunch break, and the whole network would slow down then. When they got a faster internet, then it was okay, and they want to allow their employees to do that, so it is currently allowed. Jeff says Thunderbird can't seem to train Outlook.com that some messages are spam. I logged into Outlook.com on the web to mark them as not spam. Yeah, I think that's a much better choice, is to do that training in Outlook and not rely on Thunderbird to do that. Thunderbird is from Mozilla. It's the email client that is essentially a sister software to Mozilla Firefox. So Mozilla Firefox for web browsing, Mozilla Thunderbird as an email client that kind of functions somewhat like Outlook, but it again is free software. So there's some things that are not good about Mozilla products, and can be good substitutes when you really need them, but I'd rather do the training in Outlook.com. And then let's go on to the orange. So if any of you are sending me messages or trying to communicate, be part of this conversation, and you didn't hit me up in orange, I'm not reading through every comment because it just takes too long. So you could go back and triple click on a comment you made before and Control C to copy it, then come down and create a new chat where you start with the @ symbol and type LI and then click on me and then do a Control V to paste your comment. I guess I didn't do the copy there, did I? But yeah, so if you did type a comment, you don't want to retype the whole thing, then do a copy and paste. From the Zone, hello the Zone. You have what I have, a quick junk email folder. No, wait a minute. You have what I have, a junk email folder, obviously junk, a newsletter folder, a friend, family folder, number one email box. So we're going to go show how to do that with Gmail because I think that's pretty sweet. And I'm on a paid I actually have a for business Google account. So I'm not totally certain that you're going to have the same features I have available. From V went to Gary. Oh, that's to Gary. Oh, and to me. When you're setting the email with POP3, you can set it to leave the email on the server, limit it by days. Absolutely, yes. Was Thunderbird a Ford car? Yeah, it was a favorite car of mine. Two of my brothers had the same, owned the same 1957 red Ford Thunderbird. My oldest brother had it first, then my youngest brother bought it from him. Thunderbird wouldn't train Outlook.com servers, only pulls email from the server. Yeah, Thunderbird's not going to train Outlook.com, but Thunderbird could evaluate an email when it comes in and do something with it. But I still think training Outlook.com is better. The zone corrected his spelling error. Let's see. Yeah, no, Bill. Okay, so I'll triple click Bill's comment as that was the last one. And then let's go, let's see, Alt Tab. I was about to push a Stream Deck button. Okay, so we come up to do those categories, I think is what Gmail calls it. We go to the gear icon on your Gmail screen and then see all settings. I got my fingers crossed. I'm hoping this is going to this is going to work. And then let's see, where was that at? I think it's inbox. And here it is, categories. So these check marks right here. So the only category you're seeing is primary. So if we put check marks on here, it's going to turn on the category tabs for social and for promotions. Those are the category tabs I have. I have not bothered with updates and forums, but let's go ahead and turn those on. I don't think, well, I don't know if you're going to get them or not. And then in the social, I get a lot of YouTube emails I have created a rule. We'll be looking at that later for rules. I think that's in forwarding, and enable some rules for certain YouTube emails. I want them to show up in primary. So I have a rule that says any emails that have these certain words in it, I want them to be automatically starred. And that means they're going to show up in the primary tab, in the primary category. So now that we've done those check marks, I don't think there's an apply button. Oh yeah, save changes. So yes, we do have to save changes. And then now on your inbox, there's only 4 messages in your primary.
I see that.
So that 21 minus 4. So 17 messages are no longer in your primary email because they are either social or promotions or updates or forums. Now we want to see if we come up with a total of 21. So there's 4 in primary. Social tab is empty. Promotions has 3, so that's 7. Updates has 7, so that brings us to 14. Forums has is that 6. So that brought us to 20. Did I do the math right?
Yeah, you're good. I had deleted an email while you were showing your email.
See there how you are. So we actually came
up
with the exact
right by you.
We came up with the exact right count, right?
The count is good, yes.
Yeah. So the emails that you care most about are probably going to be showing up in primary. If you do care about updates, if you want these to show up in your inbox, then we should turn off the updates category. If you want the forum messages to show up in your inbox, then we should turn off the forums category. But this method right here just cut out a bunch of the stuff that you were getting, which you did have on the list of stuff that were in your inbox. We did have those things that you had called junk mail.
Right.
And
that would be fine. The only thing is I need to either remember that I have to go to updates when I get, hey, your bill is due, or just like you said, maybe just shut updates completely off and it'll show up in the primary.
Okay. Well, now there, let's go. Is there one of these that you do want to have show up in your inbox?
Well, like the Synchronicity Bank and the Capital One from Walmart, I need to know those because
Okay. So here,
I don't want to fall behind on bills.
Let me show you how we do that. And this is going to get us into creating rules. Now, there's lots of different ways to create rules. I'm going to start just by right-clicking on this. Find emails from Synchrony Bank. That will find all the ones in here from Synchrony Bank, which are 3 of them. I can select all 3 of those. Now, we don't actually have to go through that step of selecting all 3 to create the rule. Let's see. Forward as attachment, mark add to tags, move to. So we can, I don't want to move to, I want to label them as inbox. And I'm not seeing the create rule here. I know every time I go to do this, I kind of ramble around a little bit.
It's okay. Watch my videos on DaVinci Resolve. You'll see so much rambling. It's not funny.
Yeah, well, does he know what he's doing? He seems confused. And someday I'd like to really elaborate on that, because it is an objective in my life to be operating in an environment where I don't know what I'm doing, because that means I'm learning new stuff.
Have you considered the T-shirt business?
Oh, hey, you know what? I don't want to do the T-shirt business because that's too much repetitiveness, doing that over and over. But making a T-shirt that says I live to be confused. I seek confusion. I don't know, some kind of a phrase.
Confusion, my second wife.
Yeah. So let's see. I thought there was a place in here to create a rule based upon the. Oh, hey, how about look at this? Anytime.
Would that be a function of the paid version of Google?
I don't know. Has attachment and to. Here, to. Does that say to? Who it's to? So this is all stuff we're right now looking at emails that are from this customer service. We could restrict that further by selecting a time range, or say that it has an attachment, or say specifically who it's to. Now then also there's this filter thing right here. This is search options. Oh, here it is, create a filter. That's good, that'll do it. That's what I wanted. I knew there was some place to do that. So let's turn off this filter to get back to the original. So now we're still seeing just those 3. Let's go back to inbox. And this was on, what was it, updates? Is that what it was? Yeah, and it was the Synchrony. So actually when we searched for Synchrony, it found more than what's in this folder.
Right, because there's one in my credit card. If you search for it, there's 3 of them. Okay. I think one of them showed up on the, I want to say credit card. The other one showed up in here, and I don't think the third, I don't remember where the third one was at.
Okay. Well, now that I've got one of these check marked, let's come up here to filter, and let's see, that didn't show up here. Let's actually go into that one, and then up here on filter, it's still not selecting that. So it looks like in order to get that pre-filled on the filter, it looks like I do need to tell it to find emails from Synchrony Bank. Now it has that
taxes
there, and if I click on this, now it has that pre-filled in the filter. So we're saying anything from Synchrony Bank, we'll create a filter, and what we'll do is star it. Now there isn't I don't think there's an option here for move it to the inbox, because it's kind of significant to understand that these categories are not actually a location the way folders are on your computer. These are categories, meaning any particular email could be marked to show up in multiple different categories. We're on a, this isn't a good place to talk about the different things with the check marks, but we could be doing multiple check marks. We could say mark it as red and star it, but that's not what you want. You don't want it automatically marked as red.
No.
We don't want to skip the inbox. We actually want to see it in the inbox. We don't want to forward it to somebody. We don't want to delete it. We could say never send it to spam. That could be worth doing because we want it to show up in the inbox. But I think just putting this check mark is sufficient to do that. I don't think you have to include this one. You could also mark it as important, so it gets a star on it, I think, by doing that. Well, no, that's the star. Oh, important is a check mark in the important column. But anyway, you could be doing other things. So this is what we're telling it to do with that. So we create that filter. So now notice here it shows inbox. And so this is in your inbox. Now these other ones, are they showing from the same email address? They might not be. Notice they don't say that they're in the inbox.
Right.
Okay, so let's go take a closer look at that. This was coming from customer service, Synchrony Bank. And then if I come to this one, customer service at mail.synchronybank. That's different, right? This one, oh, it does say mail. All right, customer.service mail.synchronybank. Customer.service mail.synchronybank. And this one, customer service mail.synchronybank. So they are from the same thing. I think what this is telling us is that that rule is going to apply to newly received email. And I don't think it's automatically going to apply to existing emails. There's something else we can do to go do that. So I'm going to go back to your inbox, and we're expecting only one item to show up from Synchrony in your inbox, in your primary. Is it here?
No.
No, it's not.
Refresh, maybe.
All right, we'll try that. But I think also it might be because it was already there, although it did show up with that flag for inbox. It was updates. Is that right? Is that where it was? Synchrony. Let's go find them again. Find emails from Synchrony Bank. 3 of them. This one says inbox.
Could that be because its original location was the inbox?
It should be visible in the inbox. All right, so let's go look. I'm thinking the only explanation I got at the moment is that it isn't a new email, but we'll go over here to filter and we'll see all the filters that you've created, which we've only done one. So anything that's coming from customer.service at mail.synchronybank, do this, star it, never send it to spam. Now, did I correctly do that piece over here? Include starred in primary. Yeah. So we told that rule to star it, and in my system it shows up in primary.
Not there.
No, it's not there. Okay, I'm going to switch over to chat and catch up and see if somebody's explained that, because sometimes people explain things that I missed. You can set your inbox to unread first. What I do. Yeah, I know that you can set that, and the reason why I don't do that is because I read everything from oldest going up. So I want to, and that way automatically all unread things are at the top. When I go read things, I start at the bottom. And so this would be for somebody who is picking and choosing and going at according to who emails are from. So if that's the way you're going to work, then that's a great thing to do. It's not the way that I work with it. Javi, create filter in Kebab. I'm guessing Kebab is a third-party product, and I stated earlier why I don't want to add a third-party product. Maybe he'll.
I think he's talking about the settings Kebab, but I don't think there's a settings Kebab. I think it's a settings wheel. I think.
Oh, well, now wait a minute. Maybe I refer to the Kebab menu. The three-dot menu as a Kebab menu. Maybe that's what he's referring to as Kebab, because these. Now wait a minute. Oh, here, this three-dot menu. Mark all is red. No, how about when we're actually in an email, and here's a Kebab menu. Yeah, okay. Filter messages like this. Good. I think that's what he meant, and good direction. So filter messages like this, and I think there's several different ways that you could do it. So when you're actually in an email, rather than what I did is I go selected and told it to find a bunch of them, I think that's just more cumbersome. Actually, when you're in the email, to use the Kebab menu and create a filter. So that's a good one. Good call, Zivi. But now let's go back. I want to see why that didn't pick up those. And I think what we can do is come back to the gear icon, see all settings, go to filters, and then is there a way here to tell it to run this filter on existing mail now? That's what I've seen in some places where you do in Outlook. That's called rules. In Gmail, it's called filters. Do this. Start, never send to spam. Select all, none. Select all, none. Oh, this is for if you had multiple rules. That if you click on all, it would put a check mark in all of the rules. So now, how about if I go edit? Is there a place here to tell it to apply this now to the existing email? This is the filter. This isn't saying what we want it to do. Go back into here, see all settings. Filters. So if I go to edit the filter, it takes me into this. And if I do continue, it looks like it goes ahead and displays all of those for us. Oh, here. Star it. Never send it to spam. I don't do this. I just have the star it. When a message is an exact match for your search criteria, apply the label. Can we apply the label inbox? No.
What about the categorize down there, second from the bottom?
Yeah. Categorize, because that's what these tabs are, is they're categories. Primary. Oh, I get it. I see what I had was misthinking. Yeah, star it. Okay. Categorize it as primary. That should do it. Now, you may not care about having it starred. We'll go ahead and leave that on.
Let's see what it looks like.
Show what it does. Yep. Okay, this is making sense now. It'll take a little bit of cleverness, I think, to describe it.
And it's still not there.
And it's still not there.
I got a new one in promotions.
Yeah. So and that gives you an alert up here that there's a new message that is coming.
Right.
So and
it tells you who it's from.
Shows up there as unread. And then we go to updates. There's actually 3 Synchrony Bank messages, right? And we're only seeing one when we click through these. So that would tell us that the others are in some other
they're in my taxes folder I created, and it's in my.
That must be it. They're no longer in the inbox. The
No.
filters are only going to act upon things that are in your inbox. These categories combined together are your inbox.
Okay.
When I click on this primary category, this is not your complete inbox, because your inbox right now is separated out into all these different categories.
Right. I follow that.
That is why over here on the categories, when I said, well, include start in primary. You know, when I was saying that, I think I understand why it wasn't working. I was thinking this said include start in inbox. But no, it says primary. It should go to primary. Notice you can't remove the check mark for primary. Then
right.
It's well, primary. All right, then. Categorize as primary, star it, but it's no longer, those other two messages from Synchrony are not in your inbox anymore because they've been moved to another folder. That's why we're not seeing them. That still doesn't answer why it's not showing up on primary. Now again, maybe it's because it only affects new messages coming in. Yeah,
right,
and I think so, because also we said we want it to be starred, and this is not starred.
Right.
All right, so that does answer it, I think. Is because that's only acting on new mails coming in. That one, what was it? Promotions that said there was a new mail?
Yep, Home Depot. It's the top one. Yep,
oh, right. Okay. But it's no longer showing up as new because we've clicked on this tab.
Right.
It still shows as unread, but that new flag is not showing up here because Gmail knows we have looked at this tab. So that's sufficient to remove that new flag. Now, Outlook, you can run a rule on your existing emails. Apparently, you can't do that on Gmail. I didn't realize that. But this level of management in Gmail, I think, is really useful. And as you're working mostly in your primary email, anytime a new messages comes into one of those other categories, it's going to alert you with that word new up at the top. And we know the Synchrony things. Am I saying that right? Was it Synchrony Bank? Synchrony Bank, yeah. Will
you have a message. You have a message in chat for me to remind you to go to chat, and I can't pronounce Zeev's name, so it's from Zeev.
Okay, Javi.
Can we change his name to like Bob?
Let's see. So there's my last one.
It's the third one from the bottom.
Yeah, I got where he's got me in orange because that shows up. I was just looking to see if somebody else.
Oh yeah.
Select a mail, end filter, press continue. Check the bottom, apply, then update filter. Okay, so that'll do it. It's really helpful when you're keeping an eye on chat because it's hard for me to do that. So we'll go update that filter. So let's come and we'll do that through the gear icon, see all settings, and then filters, edit, and then continue. Here's update filter. Is that all what he said to do?
Select the mail, filter, press continue, check the bottom, apply, then update filter. But I did not see an apply button anywhere.
All right, select a mail. So let's go more correctly to the way he said to do it. So we'll go to updates. We'll select Synchrony Bank. Then we'll go to the kebab menu. And then filter message. We want to update. We want to edit that filter. Filter messages like this. Block Synchrony. We already have a filter. So I'm not seeing this giving. I've got. Let me get chat on this other screen so I don't have to switch to it. Ooh, that screen's locked up. No, there it goes. Select a mail and filter. Press continue. So here's filter. Select a mail and filter. So I think when he says filter there, he's telling us to filter it, which is actually creating a filter.
Right. The only thing that I see is when you get
filter, we want to, let's see, let's categorize primary, and we wanted a star. So there's create filter. Still don't see apply.
Right. I don't see the apply.
So I don't think we've gotten the way that he wants us to do it yet.
Says the filter says in the bottom left-hand corner, your filter was created, but I think you're right. I think it's going to apply to new mail coming in, not old mail.
Yeah, well, I was hoping he was telling us here to how to make it apply to existing emails.
That just came in.
What just came in?
Go back one screen. The updates did get one at 4:20, so.
Updates got one at 4:20. Oh, Social Security, but we haven't created a rule for that.
No, it just came in, but it went, instead of going to primary, it went into updates, and that's fine. I'll train myself to remember when it is there. It's green. I need to go see what it is.
Yeah. Well, I think it pretty well stands out when you're looking at your email. That new flag, it stands out pretty noticeable.
Yeah, it did.
So then Javi says that was for new filter, also apply. That was for new filter, also apply. Did I miss an apply button? Okay, so let's go delete the filters so that we are creating a new filter and see if we get a better way to do it, because we'd like for it to apply to existing ones. So here's this filter. We'll just go.
Now, do you have to have that box up there checked where it says matches from on the left-hand side? Does that box need to be? Yes.
No, because the reason for that being there is if you have multiple rules, you could put a check mark in selected rules that you want to delete so that you could delete them en masse.
Okay. Z was saying apply. I meant also apply, but I don't see that either.
Yeah. Well, now wait a minute. Let's check that. See, when I put a check mark there, yeah, these buttons for export and delete become available. So you could select multiple rules and delete them with one button.
Okay.
Now, if we just want to delete this rule, we could use delete over here. Of course, because there's 6 ways to do anything in Windows.
Sure.
All right? Now, all right. Parenthesis or side trip or what's it called? Rabbit?
Quotations.
Bunny? Squirrel. Squirrel. A little bit off subject. Windows 11 has taken away a number of ways to do things. Like you right click on the taskbar, you can't get to Task Manager. Right?
Really?
Yeah.
Oh no.
So right click on taskbar has very little that you can do. I don't remember offhand what it is that you can do, but you can't get to Task Manager. And there's other things you can't change there. So I'm wondering, are they trying to get away from 6 ways to do everything so that there's less code for Windows 11? And perhaps to keep it running faster. Or
Write down that reason. This is reason number 1121 as to why I don't want Windows 11.
Why you don't want Windows 11? Okay, because it has removed some things that are going to have an impact on
me
tech support. Yeah, because the way you're accustomed to going to do something, that option, that method may not work anymore. And there's
Jim just said that Windows 11 is half-baked, not ready for prime time.
I think there's fewer ways to do things, and what would be the reason for doing that? And I would think it would be so that the program code for the Windows operating system is trimmer, smaller, which should mean works more zippy. That could be what they were doing. And why don't they tell us that up front? Because a lot of people are going to complain about that and not like it. They don't want to create complaints. All right, so here we're going to delete this one. Confirm delete this filter. So we'll try creating that filter from scratch. Zvi, if you have any guidance for how you want us to step through creating that filter, this would be a good time to put that in. Oh, you know what? I haven't considered whether anyone's waiting in Zoom. There's somebody else waiting in Zoom. Darren. You know what? He was there at the very beginning. I don't know if he's still sitting at his computer.
10 o'clock at night where he's at, he might not be.
All right, well, I'll go ahead and admit him and see what we got here. I'm kind of delaying a little bit so that you can hear me say that I'm about to admit him. Or although what I should do to be a little safer is not have the Zoom session on screen when I bring him in. All right, so here you come, Darren. And anyone else, I think it's time that we can open up Zoom for more people to come in.
And there's the button.
It's the same credentials. Well, that looks pretty safe, except I need to mute him because there's some kind of a alien buzzing signal. All right, so then let's go back and turn on. Zoom's kind of, Darren's feeling kind of gray and foggy. Describe him that way. Now, okay, so we're going to go create filter from scratch. Synchrony Bank. So we'll go into the message, use the kebab menu, filter messages like this, and it's ones that come from there is what we're interested in. We don't need any other specifics here. And then create filter. And this time, let's just do the category thing. And we want it to be primary and create filter. Now, before I click on that,
I know why the other, if you look right underneath the one you just checked, I think it says also apply filter to 3 matching conversations.
That's it. That's it. Apply the filter to 3. Perfect. I think you got the star. You got the bonus point.
I'm just making up for when I left my stream running.
Yeah, well, that's good. Well, that last screen where I did the kebab menu, I took an extra moment to look down those other options to see if I was missing something there. So yeah, I'm looking over at the other screen I have here and seeing Jim's comment about Windows 11 half-baked, not ready for prime time. William Dawson, Windows not ready for use. I feel too many changes. Obviously, he was referring to Windows 11. Jim says, isn't more zippy on an AMD CPU. He's saying Windows 11 isn't more zippy. Well, I know that there's problems with Windows 11 on AMDs that they're saying that it's slow, particularly for gamers. And Gary says, last week we set the company to Microsoft Authenticator and it did not slow down logging on at all. You can use it anywhere on your smartphone. Great. And Ida says she was hearing a B, and William says it's the mist for Darren. All right. So I didn't display that over the YouTube video, I know. So categories is primary. This is it. This is obviously it. Can it be done after the fact? Maybe not. Okay, so then let's go back to inbox and see if that has moved them. Here's
Yep,
well, one of them, but only one. Oh, the others, you've already moved them into other folders. They're no longer in your inbox at all.
Right.
That's what the ticket is. So then if we come back and right click on this one, find emails from Synchrony. Now, if this one's in credit cards and this one's in taxes, can I put those back into your inbox for demonstration purposes?
Sure.
All right. So I'll right click on that, move to inbox, and I'll right click on this one, move to inbox. Now I should have been able to put check marks on both of those and move them, right click and move them to inbox at the same time. We no longer have that option for move to inbox, probably because they're already in the inbox.
Right.
Now I'll click up here on this select all button in order to remove the check marks from the individual items that I currently have selected. Then go back to inbox, see if that gives us all Synchrony Bank. Yes, indeed it does. All right. So that extra rummaging around, trying to figure out how to do this, I think has served the purpose of understanding this in a deeper way. Now, if I come here to filters and edit and continue, here's that check box. So we could have edited the existing filter and simply added that check mark. Now that check mark, notice it didn't stay checked. The other things that we selected did stay selected. This one has got to be a one-time thing. It's got to clear because it's a one-time operation. You want to apply the filter 3 matching conversations. Now, if I do add something else and then apply it to 3 matching conversations, update the filter, should give us the star so that you can see what that does.
It did.
Yeah, here's the yellow star. So that highlights them. So let me go show a filter that I have on my email. There's one particular filter that I'm wanting to show. And this also kind of shows, since you have a YouTube account, you particularly might be interested in this because there's some other gyrations you have to go through to do this. I'm going to take a hit here on the chat room to catch up. Zvi, that was for new filter, also apply. Half baked. Oh, I read through these already. Last week we set the, yeah, okay, so we are caught up. Then let's go to my filters. So I'll go into the gear icon on my email, see all settings, filters. So I've got a bunch of filters. The one that I want to talk about is this one for no reply at YouTube. I have a filter there for star it, but that's not the one I wanted. Let's see, YouTube, income school.
I'm going to walk this cramp off. I'll be right back.
Okay. These new reply and reply to you. Well, no, I'm trying to show this to Ken, so no, I'm going to wait. All right. Come back to chat. Let's see. Darren hasn't shown. Well, actually, no. I don't think he ever turns his camera on, or does he? I don't remember. Darren, are you there? Speak up. Waiting to see if Darren comes up. Let's see, I gotta pump over here. What did he say he was gonna do? Is walk off a cramp? Is that what he was doing? I heard somebody else chime into the Zoom meeting. Let's go bring them in. Oh, we got Jim and Gary. I guess I missed one of your doorbells. Both of you coming in. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and turn off the waiting room. So if anyone else comes in, they'll automatically come in. Oh, that's on security. Remove enable waiting room. Hello, Jim.
Afternoon, kids.
What are you up to?
Oh, as much no good as I can get away with.
All right. So you are getting away with it. That's good.
Yeah, well, the wife's not home yet.
5 minutes, and I'm walking at 6.
Uh-oh. Where did that come from?
You.
It's coming from Gary. Yeah. Gary's got his microphone open and somebody's talking in his room. Gary, are you there?
Yeah. What's going on? You guys are all the way to the right. With about a 1-inch stamp.
Oh, I heard a woman's voice come through your microphone.
Yeah.
All right. 1-inch stamp. Oh, you mean in your Zoom session?
Yeah.
Upper right corner, click on view and change it to gallery. Let's see, I can't do that there. Right. So over the YouTube video, it shows all 5 of us now. And I haven't heard from Darren, so he might not even be at his computer. All this time he's been participating in Zoom and he didn't even know it. Gary,
all right, I see Trouble's back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am.
With a capital T.
And that rhymes with P, and that stands for pool.
There it goes. You were hiding from me.
Did you find us now, Gary?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So then.
What? No feedback from Gary, or did I miss that?
Well, no. Actually, what I was about to do was specifically for your benefit, so I delayed it. What did you say you were doing, Ken? You were going to walk off something?
I had a cramp in my hamstring cramp.
Oh, I suspected that because you looked like you were limping away.
Did a little bit too much work the other day.
So I have turned
Doug?
off the green room. So
Hey, Doug?
Yes, Gary.
Yes. Is there a way to copy filters from Gmail to another account?
From one Gmail account to another Gmail account? That's an interesting question. And I saw that in that question you put in chat. So let's go look at that. And I was just starting on the process of showing a filter that I have and how it works. I'd like to finish that out now that Ken has come back to us. And let's punch over here to my email. And I've got the Zoom window active. And let's see. So I want to show, I only have these 3 category tabs open. When I go to social, see all this stuff from YouTube? A ton of stuff from YouTube. New comment. So every time somebody makes a comment on one of my videos, YouTube actually sends me an email. Now you have to configure your YouTube account to do that. I don't think it does that by default.
I never configured it, and I get notifications.
Do you? Okay. Well, maybe I'm wrong about that. It's been a long time since I've done it. So you're getting notification. All right. So I think it's just turning notifications on, maybe. But anyway, the new comments, I don't want those showing up in my primary folder. The reason for that is because when I go to my channel dashboard, when I click on comments, the new comments will show up here for all the various videos. And this is a much easier place for me to read the new comments than going through here and individually having to open each one of these emails. Make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. However, if somebody replies to my reply on a video, it shows up in here, but it does not show up in here. So this list only shows me new comments. It doesn't show me, you know, when I reply to somebody's comment and then they reply, that doesn't show up in here. So I wanted a better notification for that. Now, if I come over here to my primary, are there any in here now? I don't recall if I've had any replies recently. But if somebody, yeah, here's one. And it says new reply to a comment on scammer or victim. So this was a comment that I had done on what's scammer or victim? Here I am forgetting his name again. That's so embarrassing because I know him. I support him, his channel, the scam baiter. Okay, well anyway, so you know what, that was kind of a vulgar reply, wasn't it? And I do remember that person was just a vulgar commenter. But anyway, how I do that, let's go in here to see all settings, go back into filters, and it is from no reply at YouTube, and the subject says new reply, or the subject says replied to you. That's what differentiates those emails. So I said if the subject says new reply or says replied to you, then I want it to be starred. And if a message is starred, then because I have this check mark, it's going to show up in primary. So that's what makes them show up on my primary category, so that my attention is drawn to them. Because I used to go to the social tab and scan here looking for anything that said new reply or replied to you. And that was just really time consuming. All right, coming back. Oops, that's not where I want to go to. Here. Or should I? Is there anything in here? Nope, there isn't. Coming back to Ken's computer. So on your primary tab now, we've got the things from Synchrony Bank that you wanted. And when you manually move them to credit cards or taxes, you don't want, I imagine, you don't want a filter that does that automatically. You want to see those messages and move them yourself?
Right.
Okay. So what you're going to do is right click and what you probably do, move to, and then choose where you want it to go to.
Yep.
But you want it to go to credit cards, you want it to go to taxes. Well, they're already there. All we need to actually do is make these not be in the inbox anymore. So we want to remove, or what is it? Primary, move to tab. If we just say move to, that one was taxes, right? No, that one was credit cards.
I think it just put both of them in
It
credit
just took
card.
both of them. Yeah, because I had check marks on both of them.
Right.
Oops, you can fix that later.
Yeah, that's fine.
So promotions, you got a new one in.
Pet Boys.
You know, that green, that jumps out. It's just a little tiny thing, but it really jumps out. And it's telling you what it is. So that's just another simplification. You don't have to go click on it if you recognize, I don't care about that. But
Right.
if you do click on it, that's enough to remove that new flag. All right, so in Gmail, this much right here is just so powerful for reducing the amount of stuff that you have to look at. Now let's go consider another thing. Unsubscribe. Can you pick anything out of these that you just don't want to come in at all?
Promotions is good. Go back to forums a moment. I don't really need anything from Mysterious Liquid.
Mysterious
Although
Liquid.
she dropped 63 pounds by eating chocolate. So
All right. So we're going to go into that email. And when this subject of unsubscribing first came up, there were people that said, no, don't do that because that lets the junk mailers know that your email is actually a valid email. And they won't honor your unsubscribe. But I use this a lot and I find it works. And I don't see more emails coming in. So we're going to go ahead and click on this. Now, do you recognize that you do occasionally get emails from Mysterious Liquid?
that was the first one that I remember.
All right, let's see. If
But my trash files got a lot in it, so if I did, it'll be in there. But
all right.
oh, that is interesting.
Yeah, I think I clicked on something I didn't intend to. What tab are we on right now? Oh, here. Simple Promise. We actually went to their website.
Right.
Leave site, changes might not be saved. No, where's your Gmail? Oh, this is it. So what we want to do is see if there are other messages like this. So find, filter messages like this. Has the words list. No, we want to specify who it's from. We were on forums, right?
Yep.
Mysterious Liquid. Okay, so right click on that. Find emails from Mysterious Liquid. And there's only one. But you may have deleted them and emptied your deleted items folder. Well, no, actually, when you do a search, it doesn't include the deleted items folder. Yeah. How do we tell it? Isn't there a way to tell it to include the deleted items folder? Find emails from Mysterious Liquid. Oh, it would be here. Don't include chats. Create filter. Subject from greater than. Search. All mail. That should include deleted items or
It
trash.
does.
Trash is your.
It's only looking for 1 day's worth of email. I think you have to change the within date.
Oh. Yeah. All right. I want it to be all dates. Huh. Really? Does it not give me a way to not restrict the dates?
That's going to look back a year.
For you, that's sufficient. For me, I got stuff going way back longer.
Right.
Well, that should be enough for us to find what we're interested in.
Nope, only one.
Yeah. And it's possible that it doesn't always come from that same address.
Correct.
Because they might use a different account name. Okay, but still, unsubscribe
Takes us to there.
takes us to here, and they want us to tell them what email address to unsubscribe from. Now, I like it better when they just recognize that from the coding that's in the link, but some mass email campaigns don't have the capability of doing that. You want to go ahead and put in your email address there? These unsubscribes all work different from each other. And some of them may be a scam, but I find unsubscribing helps trim down the amount of stuff.
I noticed too, there's 2 unsubscribes on the email itself.
Yeah, I saw that. Then let's go back to, let's close that one. Come back to here. So you're talking about here. So this unsubscribe and then this one, trapdoor hierarchy. If you don't want to receive this type of message, you can unsubscribe from this list. Now I previously floated my mouse over that and it didn't look clickable. When I float my mouse over this one, it looks clickable. We got an hourglass. What's going on with that?
That setting I made and can't remember how I done it. I don't like it, but I've learned to live with it.
Oh, is that just what your mouse pointer is?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it was me.
All right, let's try this unsubscribe. Do you really want to unsubscribe?
Change mouse center control panel.
Yes, I know.
Yeah, that didn't help. I tried, believe me.
It's this one, right?
Yes, Cased Out 2016.
We will go try that, Gary. Please take a moment to tell us why you're leaving. No, I don't bother with that.
Yeah, I
don't want to fill out their surveys. I don't care about informing them. So I'm suspecting that this unsubscribe might be for Mysterious Liquid, and this unsubscribe might be for the mailing list provider that they're using. So we did both there, and I suspect that makes a difference. And it was a different screen that they took us to. So that was covering the subject of unsubscribing and my recommendation to do that. We don't need to go unsubscribe from anything else. Let me go look at well, Javis.
Let's see how many I have in trash.
Yeah. Javis saying search in all emails. Did I not do that?
I think you did, because it only still came up with the one.
Yeah, it still came up with the one. Let's see, like just to demonstrate, let's do. Well, now that's interesting. Here, when I right-click on Synchrony Bank, oh, there's Find All Emails. Didn't I just right-click on that and not get the Find Emails option?
Kind of what I saw.
Yeah, you're agreeing with me? It was a short menu.
Yeah, it was.
Okay, so then some messages here. This is it right here. This is what somebody pointed out to me recently. Once you do a search, and I had, when this person was trying to help me with it, I had difficulty finding it because I had like hundreds of emails that matched the search I was doing. And so I had to scroll all the way down to the bottom. There's this line at the bottom in Gmail. Some messages in trash or spam match your search. If that's not true, this message doesn't appear. This message only appears if it's true that there are more messages in trash or spam. So when we click on view messages, this means we want to view those messages that are in trash or spam. So these are the ones that are in trash, and they're shown right here with the trash flag.
Right.
So Gmail, when you're doing that, find all messages that match, does not search trash or spam unless you do that extra step. Okay, now I see in my peripheral vision some more stuff going on in chat.
Zeeb said there's a label called all mail.
There's a label called all mail. Referring to when we say find emails from Synchrony Bank and then go to this filter.
Search all mail right there. And then,
It's on this screen? Yeah,
yes.
that was already there.
Right.
That does not include trash and spam.
Nope.
It just includes all of your folders. Now, in this case, we've got those 3 that we know. Yeah, this isn't even showing us that there are others. Didn't we just find that Synchrony Bank does have messages
Yeah.
in those others?
Showed them. They showed in the trash. And I don't think we've emptied the trash
Oh,
yet.
here, we still have 1 day.
Oh, yeah.
Boy, I don't like that default. But these others over here, they aren't 1 day.
Nope.
They were older. All mail, 1 year, Synchrony Bank, and I want that to do all time.
What's the...
Search date within 1 year. Oh, maybe 1 year. Nope, there's no other choice there. I don't want it to search by date. How do we remove that? Yeah, well, anyway, all mail wasn't getting it. Wait a minute. Do I have it checked now? Yeah, it says all mail. All mail. Now, if I specifically ask for trash, do we still see that 1 that was there?
You didn't have anything in the
Oh,
from button, so it's got all the trash.
that's because I don't know what I'm doing. Find emails from Synchrony Bank. There's view messages. That's showing us trash or spam. All right. But here, this all mail, I'm thinking now when I click search, it's not going to show me that.
Nope.
Yeah, it goes away. That's weird. So if you put a check mark here, or actually go into that, create a filter. No, that doesn't pick up who it's from. Find all mails from Synchrony Bank. The first time you do that, when you tell it to find all mails, we have this option for view messages. If we come up here and say 1 year, search, this goes away. Now, okay, here's a possibility. Those messages are more than a year old. Because remember when I said if there aren't any in those other folders,
They're this year.
they won't show up. So let's go view messages and see if that's true. Yeah, they're this year. So that's kind of a tricky thing. If you
Does
want
Gmail automatically delete the trash bin at some point in time?
there's a setting for that. Let's go CL settings, inbox. I think, would it be inbox? Filter, don't override filters, include important in message. Oh, that's interesting. Override filters, include important messages in the inbox that have been filtered out. So if people send something to you with the important flag, this would force it to come into your inbox if you were allowing it to override filters. You know, I got somebody outside my house here being really noisy. Yeah, so it's not there. Looking for a way to that Gmail automatically deletes things, permanently deletes things that are in the trash folder for a period of time. Of course, we can set up a filter to do that. At least I'm pretty sure we can. But is somebody in chat telling us that?
Now, the last one was from Mike. He said, thank you for the time when you helped him.
You're welcome, Mike. There's a label called All Mail. Yeah, but that didn't help us. So I already saw that in chat. So we did find how to search for the things that are in the trash and spam. Now, what we're looking for is automatically deleting things that are been moved to trash. I remember seeing that, and I have to question whether I'm remembering that from Outlook or Microsoft 365 or from Gmail. Let's go down here to the trash folder. Right click. No, that's just Windows stuff. Click on the trash folder.
Only 335. Oh, yeah, it says messages that have been in trash more than 30 days will be automatically deleted.
There you go. There you go.
Cool.
Yeah. So I guess it's not a setting anywhere. You can empty trash now, but it doesn't look like you can change that.
Yeah, Zeke just said there's no way to change the default Gmail trash behavior.
All right. Yeah, he's got a link for that. So
Right.
That's believable. All right. And thank you for that confirmation, Zvi.
I have a question while it's still fresh on my mind.
Go ahead.
Down there it says 3.91 gigabyte of 15 gigabytes used. What all is using 3.91 gigabyte? Is that email only, or is that Google's folder, photos included, or what is that?
Okay. Well, let's go take a look at that right here. This arrow should take us to that link. Your hourglass keeps confusing me.
You can change it.
Yeah, we will.
In fact, I wish you would.
So here you've got 15 gigabytes of storage. This shows that Google Drive is using 3.48 gigabytes. Gmail is using 0.32 of a gigabyte. And your photos 0.08. And these color bars are showing that graphically. So you got a blue line showing that's all your Google Drive. So your Gmail is a tiny portion.
Right.
So does that answer your question?
Yeah, I'll have to go in later and figure out what's on Google Drive and then figure out how to disable Google Drive because I don't think I really need it.
Well, this arrow right here will take you to it.
It's primarily going to be pictures, isn't it?
Yeah.
But
Do
then
you want to
then we
go
have
there?
Yeah, sure, that's fine. Yeah,
Okay.
that's nothing
I'm
to do.
moving picture and pictures out of the way so we can get this on video. So there's the Google Drive showing how much space, and these arrows right here would take you to each of those individually. And you're sure I don't need to blur the
No, we're
screen?
good.
All right.
No, there's. Okay, so why are my YouTube videos showing up in there?
All right, I'm going to move things out of the way here. So this right-hand column shows how much storage is used, and this down arrow is showing that they're displaying in descending order by size. So your largest item here is an MKV, and then there's an MP4. So the MKV, I don't think that is something that, I don't think that's a YouTube file format, MP4.
No, that's probably coming from something like OBS or something of that nature.
Yeah, as editing software or as video creating software.
Yeah, the MP4 is probably the result of running it through DaVinci Resolve, but the MKV is probably the original file in OBS.
Yeah. And MOV, I think, is a default format from an iPhone. And those file names,
Yes.
those look like
Yeah.
iPhone names.
So is this automatically do this each and every time I do something?
only if you're putting them into a folder on your computer that is synchronized with Google Drive.
Well, let me show you what.
Okay, you have the controls.
90% of what I do goes to my desktop, and then when I get tired of seeing them all on the desktop, then I'll throw them over into a folder.
All right. Can I have the mouse back?
All yours.
All right. So I'm going to open.
Like a blackjack dealer. Clean.
I'm going to open your File Explorer, and I'm going to browse to your user profile. So expanded the C drive, then expand the users folder, and then go to your profile name. I deduce that's your profile name, although I happen to recognize it having seen it before. And I can deduce that because I know it's not default and I know it's not public. On some computers, a computer might find other profile folders. The other profile folders are probably not going to have this greater than symbol next to them because they're not accessible to the user account that's not logged in. Even if you're administrator, you'd have to click on them and then say, yes, I want access to it. So we're going to expand that folder and then click on the profile name, and we're looking for a desktop to see if there's any indication here that this is synchronized with your Google Drive. And that doesn't show us anything, any icons here the way that OneDrive does. I'm looking here to see if this gives us any indication of a synchronization with Google Drive. I don't recognize it. I don't synchronize any of my folders with Google Drive that I'm aware of, so
I didn't either, but apparently I do.
Let's come over here to your icons in the notification area. Is there an icon here for Google Drive?
Yes. No way to get rid of Skype. I don't use Skype.
Well, very easily. Go to Task Manager, go to Startup, and just disable it.
Yeah, but
I had done that, but who knows? I slept.
Yeah.
Well, it depends. Sometimes Microsoft updates tend to re-enable stuff randomly.
Yeah, but here's the settings for Skype. We should be able to stop it from auto-launching. Automatically start. Launch Skype in the background. No. Let's see.
You can also disable, unclose, keep Skype running. There's no need for that.
Unclose, keep Skype running. No. Automatically start Skype. So click on the settings button for that. Oh, and it goes to startup apps for that. And then turn that off there. So that should stop it.
That'll be nice.
Say again?
That'll be nice.
Yeah.
Because I did do a restart. And yeah, Jim, I know I've encountered that too, where sometimes Windows updates do go back and turn things you didn't want back on.
And sometimes it'll reinstall something. It's done that too.
Right. Now, we didn't actually exit it for this session, so now I'll right-click and quit Skype for this.
Yes, Steve, to answer your question, all three of my computers are using the same Microsoft account. And Doug and I started a video on that to try to rectify it. We never got it solved, but yeah, I'm used to it.
Was that just because we got distracted? Or did we just not, or did we try?
I thought maybe we got confused and weren't sure what we were doing, but yeah, we were distracted. Oh, Doug has left us. I've been cut off.
Well done. Well played, sir. All right. Now, so back on track. The Google Drive. Did you say that it is in the notification area? Because I'm not seeing it.
I didn't. No, okay. Go ahead.
Now, but you have other computers. Is this the computer where that would be happening from?
Yeah, I don't. All my rendering's done right here on this computer, and that's what all those little movie icon things are, is renders.
All right.
And that's what I'm pretty sure they. Just click on that second one down. It's an MP4. Can't be anything bad.
Can't be.
Thank you. I'll be here all week.
Is it going to let you see that?
Well, that's from way back when.
Kim, Charleston Police. Hold on.
Experiment with my wife's iPhone 8. I
guess I should probably watch that. This is not going to be. This is her iPhone 8.
All right, so that's what it is.
Yep, and that's from OBS. So
All right.
surely
But
the guys.
are you saying there's no cause that you would have copied that to your Google Drive?
No, no.
You would
None whatsoever.
Okay, but it's old.
From July.
Okay,
And
so
speaking of,
let's let's go back here to this sort arrow. Let's see, storage use. We're in a location right now to where we're interested in space. So let's go over here to your Google Drive and see things in a more normal fashion. Let's see, this is by name. Are we still okay?
yeah, we're fine. I mean, everybody here has seen my grandkids' pictures at least once.
Okay, so what I was going to go to is last modified to see what's come in recently. Comprende?
Yep, should be the last 3 at the top with the birthday cakes.
All right, so last modified to try to track down why are these coming. Well, these are all cell phone pictures.
No, those are all 35 millimeter pictures. Every one of these pictures right here
Yeah.
are all my 35 millimeter. I didn't take any with my cell phone at all. Now the USB is plugged in with the memory card in it, but that doesn't explain how it's automatically going to Google Drive.
35 millimeter. Are you saying these pictures were taken on film?
No, they're taken on a memory card. Hang on.
Okay,
35 millimeter type.
from a real camera, it's a digital camera.
Yeah, I can't see the
Yeah.
zoom, but from this camera right here.
Okay.
And then I use the memory card.
Okay. So
That's where I'll be.
those pictures never went to your cell phone.
Nope.
Okay. So it's giving similar file names that a cell phone would do. Oh, you just plug that in. All right. Somewhere you've got a configuration that's uploading photos to your Google Drive. So we're in your Google Drive now. Let's go to the gear icon and go to settings. See what this will tell us. Buy storage, replace the shortcuts. This has got to be something on your phone or your camera. The camera's capable of. Does your camera connect to the internet?
No.
Google Docs.
And none of these pictures have ever been shared or taken or anything on the phone at all.
But
No.
they're in your pictures folder on your computer.
Well, they're in the USB drive memory card. They're not on the computer.
You don't put these on the computer in the pictures folder?
I moved some of them over into my DaVinci Resolve data folder and use them from there. Yes.
Huh.
But okay, so I take it out, I put it in, and that pops up. If you go right here and then go down, right there's the birthday pictures. So I don't know how they're getting, I honestly don't know how they're getting over here. Computer's yours.
All right. That's interesting.
Unless there's a setting on the iPhone that would affect that. And I don't know how that could be because the computer's not Wi-Fi connected.
But you said these pictures don't get to your phone.
They don't. They don't at all.
So
no.
No.
Now what we
iPhone's
can
not
test
gonna do
real
this.
quick is
Say again?
we can run a real quick test. I'll just take a picture with my phone and see if it shows up over here
All right.
automatically. So I'll leave the phone open.
All right.
If we refresh this,
So let's see.
Nope.
That one we got Craig Guy. Craig Guy says hello, watching from St. Mary's County, U.S. Navy retired, and thank you for your service, Craig. Zvi, does Ken using Google account in another computer? Google account. Well, define using Google account. You probably access your Gmail from other computers.
right. From time to time, I will access it on the other machine.
Okay. But a Google account, Google doesn't, your computer's not associated with a Google account the way that it could be associated with a Microsoft account. Because all you're going to do with a Google account is interact through a web browser. So yes, you access email on other computers, so using Google account on other computers, yes, but they don't have the pictures on them, the other computers, right?
No, because
all the content that we're seeing on your Google Drive does exist on this computer in the DaVinci folders, right?
right, I'll move, like, for example, I moved this picture over to DaVinci Data because I used it. So I'm going to try to go to Google Drive on my other computer if I can just remember if I'm smart enough to do that. I heard that, Jim.
Sorry.
Now, you identified one photo that you moved to DaVinci, but you didn't move all of these?
No, I moved the three at the top, the cakes. I moved the one with the granddaughter, then the baby, then, yeah, all of from here down to right here, they are all in the DaVinci Resolve data folder. So let me see .com.
But those others are not.
No. DRIVE/my Okay, so now I'm going to bring this up over here on my other computer. You block. Oh, I don't have you block on this computer. I have you block on my new machine, but I don't have it on this computer. That's interesting. Let's get rid of that.
So I'm in add remove programs, app wizard, programs and features. I guess that's the right thing to call it. And seeing that Google Drive, the application called Google Drive, is not installed. Google Chrome is, that's just the browser, but not Google Drive. And Javi was pointing out actually that Google Drive is not currently installed, but could have been installed in the past. What was the most recent content showing here on Google Drive? Did we already? Yeah, last modified. Okay, yeah, so these pictures, when were they?
Saturday, this past Saturday.
So recent.
Yep. Now, if you want, I can take the memory card out, throw it in the camera and snap a picture or something to see if it shows up on here.
Yeah, go ahead. Can block people in Drive. There's got to be some kind of configuration somewhere, but the pictures are coming to Google Drive, even if they're not coming to his computer. So that sounds like the camera.
Some cameras have Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I know, but he told us that his camera does not connect to the internet. But Wi-Fi. So if it's connecting to Wi-Fi, he may not realize that it is somehow aware of his Google account. But there's...
I just took a picture on the camera, and the camera's still on. I'm looking in the menu to see if there's a Wi-Fi setting, and I'm not seeing one.
No.
So if the camera is somehow configured to connect to Google Drive, we're not going to see that configuration on the web interface for Google Drive, I don't think. And we're not going to see it on the computer. What's the model of the camera? Make and model?
Canon T3.
Canon
T3, Rebel. Rebel T3.
Rebel T3.
Yep.
Okay. Does have Wi-Fi. Horrible grammar.
Does have Wi-Fi?
No, I'm describing the Google search I'm doing.
Oh,
I started with Canon T3 Rebel does have Wi-Fi. I'm not making a good English sentence, but I think Google search can figure that out.
oh, there you go. Hey, warning: do not buy Canon Wi-Fi card for it does not have Wi-Fi.
You saw that somewhere faster than me. Where'd you see that?
Very
here.
top.
A warning: do not buy Canon Wi-Fi card for the Rebel T3i. Wi-Fi card for Rebel T3i. It does not have Wi-Fi. This looks like a comment on an Amazon listing. It's not reliable. Yeah, it's from customer questions. So don't put too much faith into what shows up in a Google search. It can often be misleading. So it does not have Wi-Fi. Warning. So those are two. Let's see. Warning. Do not buy Canon Wi-Fi card for Rebel T3. It is not made to work with T3i. So they're saying this camera doesn't work with the Canon Wi-Fi card. And this one's saying, no, it does not have Wi-Fi. So whatever is in this listing, does the T3 have Wi-Fi? And that one that says, no, it does not have Wi-Fi. Does the T3i have Bluetooth? Yes, but you need to add Wi-Fi equipped SD card.
It looks like the 2 has Wi-Fi, but the 3 does not.
Okay. Now, there are SD cards that have Wi-Fi actually built into the SD card. I have a few of those. That's kind of cool. The card itself can connect to your Wi-Fi and upload files. And iFi, yeah, that's the name of it.
A Wi-Fi enabled SD card, that's a double-edged sword.
Yeah, I have them. The camera doesn't have to have Wi-Fi. The card itself has Wi-Fi.
God.
It
You
wears
wanna
down
look
the
it up?
battery quicker.
At least when you lay your camera down, I can't put Wi-Fi on.
What is your SD card?
SanDisk Ultra, 64 gigabyte.
Yeah, that's not going to have Wi-Fi built into
No,
it.
it doesn't. I can't find my glasses.
You need your glasses.
I need my glasses.
What, Carey?
Best way to make Canon T3 Wi-Fi enabled. So it's not.
I'm sorry. That whole thought just scares me. I'm sorry. It does.
Oh, an SD card having Wi-Fi enabled?
Yeah, that just scares me. I'm sorry.
Sure.
Yeah, I
Having
agree.
your phone Wi-Fi enabled isn't much better.
Sure. And change the label on the Wi-Fi card so it's not obvious. Hand it
Gary,
to somebody to
I
use.
expect the phone to have the Wi-Fi stuff, and I understand that. I've got what the heck is it? iCloud sync between my iPad and my iPhone. I expect it out of that. I don't expect it out of an SD card.
No, but the phone could have it itself.
Yeah, well, my
Yeah.
phone's got Wi-Fi, sure.
Well,
I
you
keep saying
wouldn't use
I
an
said phone. I apologize. I meant the camera. Dang it.
Yeah, the camera.
Well,
can have
the
its own.
the first thing I would do if I had a camera that had Wi-Fi on it, I would turn it off.
Or burn it.
Well, it's not on until you turn it on, and you have to configure it.
Yeah, and that's going to remain unconfigured.
Yeah. Well, I had it for my GoPro cameras. When I had my GoPro cameras mounted on my plane to make videos when I was flying kids in the Young Eagles program, and make videos of those. And
Yeah, there are
it
certain
just
things
made it a
I'm
whole
very
lot
old
easier.
school.
It was a whole lot easier. I didn't have to manually upload stuff.
No, I get that. I'm very old school in certain things.
All right. So Ken took a picture and he installed the SD card into the computer, and we're waiting to see if that shows up in Google Drive. Now,
It hasn't yet.
even with my iPhone, which is configured to automatically upload to iCloud, it can take a while before that happens. While we're waiting for that, I'm going to go to the description of this video to see if I've covered all of the spam managing capabilities that I wanted to cover. Let's see here.
Well, while you're doing that, I'm going to have to bow out. It's almost 6:30 here.
All
The
right.
wife is home. We're going out to dinner, so I'm going to have to book. The only thing I
Alright.
can say about the whole email thing is that I'm very old school. Give me an email address. Give me the server address. I let Thunderbird worry about everything else. That's just me.
All right.
See you guys later. I got to go.
Bye.
Bye, Jim. Thanks for joining.
Where is it? Oh, here it is. So unsubscribe we talked about. Privacy settings on accounts we haven't talked about. Email client spam features we have talked about. The ones that are available in Gmail. For other email clients, they'd be different. And just to be sure, I'll say that email client means things such as whatever webmail interface you use for your email, or Outlook, or Mozilla Thunderbird, or whatever other software you might use for viewing your email to see what spam features it has. Gmail categories we did, email client rules we did. With Gmail, it's called filtering, not rules. In Microsoft Outlook, it's called rules. Burner email accounts we haven't talked about, and alias email addresses we haven't talked about. So it's 3 things there. So let's talk about that, shall we? Are you with me, Ken, or are you distracted?
No, I'm with you. You're good.
Okay, so privacy settings on accounts would just be like your Amazon account, your YouTube account, your bank accounts, whatever other accounts you might have, is go into your account settings for those accounts and look for privacy and security and see if there's any checkboxes you can unselect to disallow them from sharing your email address with advertisers.
Right.
Okay?
Yep.
Then burner email accounts, when you're going to set up a new account for some website that you know you don't care about their emails, is just have some other email account that you never check and use that email account to set up this new account with Netflix or Hulu or whatever it might be, because you know that you don't care about what emails they send. You
Right.
would have to go into that email account when you're setting up your new account with Hulu or whoever it is to validate or verify that email address. They'll
Hey,
want
Doug?
you to click on something. Yes, Gary.
Yeah, quick comment. I agree with you, but I have cable, and cable sends me junk email about 5 to 10 times a month. But they also send me a real bill.
Okay, gotcha.
So that may be something, you might want to weigh.
Well, if you go into your settings for your cable account and tell
Already
them
deleted.
to not share your address or not send promotional mail, because I've had that several times. You go in to the settings for an account, and you have the option to turn off the extra mails, but you'll still get your bill.
I already, our cable doesn't have that. I have check, trust me. And I have a doctor that sends stuff about 5 times a mail, 5 times a month also.
Okay.
Real doctor, you know.
Okay. Well, then another way to do that would be in those filters. You can set up a filter for mails that come from a certain, I shouldn't just talk through that. I should demonstrate it on Ken's computer. Coming back to your computer, Ken.
Yeah.
Okay. Bring this up and then get back to your inbox. And then let's see, where would be a good place to, let's not look for an email that we can demonstrate this. Capital One. Oh, this one, that's good. This is a bill information. So Capital One.
That's a good bill.
Okay. So then let's suppose we want to create a filter so that we eliminate everything from this email address unless it's a bill, unless it's about your payment. So if it contains the word payment and the word schedule is our exception. So then let's go right click and find emails from Capital One, and that's just so that we get this email address here, and then go into do a filter. And so emails from Capital One, create a filter. Now let's see, we're gonna say never send it to spam. We could skip the inbox, no, apply label, delete it, unless. What I'm interested in, deleting unless. Now, how does Gmail do that? Forward it, delete it, never send it to spam, mark as important, categorize, also apply 29 matching conversations. So I don't want to delete things yet. I'm going to test the filter. I'm going to use star.
I got to get going, but let me give you one here. Thank you for your payment as scheduled.
Yeah, so that shows up in the
Inbox.
In the subject line, right?
I don't know.
So let's go look at this closer and see what we can do. So here it said matching Capital One. Let's see what we can do with editing this.
Has the words.
Yeah. Has the words, yeah, in the description. So has the words. What were those words?
Well, I'm saying be careful because they might send you another saying thank you for your payment on the scheduled date.
You do have to be careful with doing this, yeah. So we could say if it has anything to do with the word payment. I'm trying to click in this field.
Okay, guys, I got to get going.
All right.
Thank you.
See ya.
Bye.
Thanks, Gary.
Bye. Yeah, bye,
Thanks,
Ken.
Gary. Has a subject payment. Now, has the words would be in the body of the email, but anything to do with the payment, it's probably going to have the word payment in the subject line. I keep clicking in the wrong place there. Okay, payment. Search, and that gives us those. I didn't tell it what I want to do with that. This is just a search. This doesn't let us do the filter.
Hey, Darren.
Hi.
Hi, Darren. He's back.
I've been here all the time, just listening.
Oh, all right. He didn't respond to me when I asked you.
Oh, missed you out a little bit.
All right, so you did miss that. All right, let's move picture-in-picture out of the way. Capital One, star it, but we want to say if it has subject payment. And continue. That's how I didn't get to this, is because I did search instead of continue. So star it. apply 3 matching, so only 3 matching conversations that had the word payment. We know we have a bunch of them, so we're going to star the ones that have payment. Curious it doesn't show the star there. Your payment. Done. I hear some buzzing noise through somebody's microphone. Capital One. Darren, can you try muting yourself and see if that buzzing goes away?
Right, I see that too. See what's this for the time.
Is it you?
I'm not hearing anything,
Yeah.
but I'll turn down my
It went
TV.
away when Darren
Oh, did
muted
he?
himself.
Okay.
So Darren, if you could just unmute yourself when you want to say something, I'd appreciate it. Okay.
So I'm looking at these pictures. I brought them up on Google Drive on my other computer, and I've got a real funny feeling that somehow my DaVinci Resolve is linked to my Google account, because every one of those pictures I just used in DaVinci Resolve.
All right. Well, we'll go look
It's
at
bad.
DaVinci Resolve then and see if that's connected. But here's those Capital One accounts. We see the stars on the ones that have the word payment.
Right.
Now, when we look through the rest of these to see if there's something else that we'd want to be considered high priority, we have a lot of things regarding statement. Those aren't advertising stuff.
No, it's just telling me I got to pay the bill.
Yeah. Now, it doesn't look to me like you're getting junk mail from Capital One.
No.
Yeah, so that doesn't really fit Gary's issue. So we can't really.
Well, the only thing that might be considered junk, and I just overlook, it's the very top one that shows there's a change to my report, and I don't really care about that. So
yeah. So we could add the words statement and summary, and see if that gets stars on those without starring this one. So basically what I'm getting at is testing your selection methods to be sure you're getting the emails that you care about, and then the ones that don't fit the filter can be deleted, and these filters are processed. Following filters are applied to all coming email. They should be processed in order, but I'd also want to test that to be sure that Gmail does that. So meaning you could have a filter for emails coming from Capital One that has payment and those other words, and those would be starred or moved to a different folder or whatever, and then another filter that takes things from Capital One that does not match that first filter and deletes them. Now, I don't like the way I described that. I don't think that will work the way that I described it, but that's what I'm getting at, and I've done complex rules like that in Outlook, but I don't think I've done that type of a complex filter in Gmail. And I don't think we should go all the way through that now, because we're not actually trying to solve that problem with you. But those other emails, some of them included the word statement, right?
right.
Some of them had the word balance, but that first one that looked like an advertisement did not have those words. Now, how does Gmail handle this? Does this mean that the subject has to have all 3 of those words, or is it going to treat them as any of those words? And I don't know offhand. Long story made long, you could create a separate rule for each of those, or a separate filter for each of those. But basically what I'm getting at is there are methods within your Do It, and you're pretty much coming up with programming. That's what you're doing. And I should have done continue instead of search. And actually by doing the search, we already saw that it did not work because nothing showed up, did it? No messages match. So it's treating those as an and. Now, if we do take it out of there and put it in here and search.
Yep.
Yeah, so that gets just those. And it does not get the one that looked like it was advertising something.
And it goes all the way back to October of 2019.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
All right. So let's drop that approach from now because we've discussed that, and we're going to turn to your DaVinci thing in a little bit here. But before doing that, I want to hit on those other two conversations because I don't think they're very long. I'm looking for the YouTube video. We don't have it here at all, do we?
No.
Oh, I'll go to my computer for that. Here it is. So burner email accounts we talked about. Alias email addresses. That only works if you have a custom domain name. Like I have the LiveWindowsTraining.com and I also have DougBetts.com. I can go into the administrator settings for my account and I can add an alias to my own account. So I could put something like Netflix@DougBetts.com is an alias for DougBetts.com, which means I will receive any emails sent to that address. So I optionally can turn that alias on or off. So I could use Netflix@DougBetts.com in order to set up an account somewhere and prevent junk mail from coming to me by virtue of that. Okay, now let's go look at DaVinci, and we also want to look at your mouse pointer. You want to take us to DaVinci?
Do we need Gmail open any longer?
Nope. I think we're done with that
Leave
subject.
that one open. Okay, so DaVinci, just bring it up right here. Single click. Now let me run a real quick test.
All right.
I'm going to bring this up. I'm going to go grab that last picture that I just took, and it's going to be on my E drive. It's going to be at the bottom. Why it puts it at the bottom is beyond me.
Well, there's a sort order icon, I think, in the upper right.
Right here. I'm going to open that. I'm going to drag it down into the timeline. I'm going to put it where it's supposed to be. So now it's there. So now I'll let you see if you can figure out if if DaVinci resolved, because the reason I did that is I'll go back over to my other computer. I'll refresh my Google Drive and see if it's in there.
All right. So DaVinci Resolve, going to Preferences. Oh, this is Preferences. Okay. Video transition to this is toolbox stuff, generates effects, open effects filters. None of that. Effects library, edit index, sound library, media pool. That's not letting me select media pool from there. Why?
Do you have something open in media storage?
Media storage locations. Oh, look at that, internet accounts. Memory media storage. First media storage location. This location should be permanently connected to your system. Videos folder, user media storage location, video and audio plugins, control panel Let's start with internet accounts. I'm looking at chat on my other computer here. I don't see anything else in orange since the last thing I looked at. Internet accounts, YouTube, Vimeo.
Yeah, none of them are set up.
Twitter. Yeah, none of them are signed in. These are system accounts. Click on user. So these are user UI settings. Oh, I see why other things are. This is a window here. I can't with the dark mode. I didn't even recognize that this is the window. I thought these were the settings. Project save and load. Live save, load settings, project, editing, timeline settings, general, no, color, Fairlight, playback settings, control panels, metadata. None of that sounds likely. All right. We already looked at media storage, decode. None of this seems likely. We'll cancel this window. So under DaVinci Resolve, keyboard customization, no, quit, no. About, it's probably not going to give us anything of interest. Nope.
There's a settings icon down in the lower right-hand corner. I don't know if it's going to be good.
We'll look at that. Project settings. The bubble on that said project settings. Master settings, got a scroll bar, timeline format, video, optimize, working folders. Now see, I can't, my mind keeps going to considering the folder that you're storing things in, but it can't possibly be synchronizing with the Google Drive, because Google Drive isn't running on your computer. It's not even installed on your computer. So you can't have a folder that's synchronizing with Google Drive unless it's happening within DaVinci.
And if it is, it'll be a default setting because I haven't changed but a couple. I only changed the frame rate and every once in a while how big it's going to be. So far, that one picture I took with the 35 millimeter has not showed up. I mean, the good news is all 75 pictures didn't show up. The bad news is that 17 of them did, and that's weird.
And those are all pictures that you actually used in DaVinci.
Right. Well, I put them over into the DaVinci Resolve folder and imported them into DaVinci, and that's as far as I got with them. I have not done anything with them yet.
Does DaVinci have a web interface?
Not that I'm aware of.
If somebody in the chat room is interested in researching, try a Google search. Why DaVinci Media shows up in Google Drive. Why does DaVinci Media show up in Google Drive? Did I hear you typing in that search?
I did.
All right.
First one comes up 7 years old.
Huh.
And then there's a YouTube video. It says how to set up a secure shared drive, Google Drive training.
Does not sound like it's on point at all.
DaVinci Tools brings handy enhancements to Google Analytics, Google Tag, Google Ads, Data Studio, and Google Ads. So that's not. That's nuts.
Play it, resolve light. All right. Come up with blanks there. I'm going to minimize DaVinci Resolve, and I'm going to go try a similar search on my computer. I'll probably type it a little different since you typed it in the way I prescribed, and that didn't help. DaVinci. D-A-V-I-N-C-I? Yeah.
Yep.
DaVinci Resolve. Let's see, why? I'm going to type this with good English structure. Why do DaVinci Resolve Media show up in Google Drive? That's probably the same thing I dictated earlier. I can't think of a better way to word that. How to import media. Okay, how to get rid of media offline. Virus, database on Google Drive. Yeah, this is just dancing around this words in the question, not answering it, not on point. Offline issue. Okay, so here, let's go. Let's go back to this. Whoops, back to here. DaVinci Resolve, Blackmagic. I'm going to do this one on your computer. Another search. Get that out of my way. Then DaVinci Resolve website. Blackmagic Design. Is that who makes DaVinci?
Yep.
It is. All right. What I'm looking for here, is there a logon? I asked you if they have a online interface, and I'm not seeing any kind of logon here.
I don't think that there is.
Yeah.
Well, for the free version, probably not. The paid version, there might be.
Download now, media pool. Let's see here. Do they have a... I don't even see a search.
Sam, what should I try to search? The same search that I did in Google, but do it under Brave?
So try and search on Brave instead of Google.
Yeah, I'm bringing that up now.
I guess he's implying that Brave is a better search engine than Google. Yeah.
That comes up with the Brave. hide your IP address.
Yeah,
Comes
but
up with the same thing.
you're not going to find any other search results.
Now it came up exactly identical.
Yeah. All right. All right. So, turning my attention to your mouse. Yeah.
Yep, we're in settings.
Yeah, and my brain's starting to go. Let's see, devices. We get from there, mouse.
Okay.
Cursor speed, additional mouse options, adjust mouse and cursor size. Change the pointer color, mouse cursor and size. Color, no, we want to change the mouse, not there. Additional mouse settings. Multiple lines at a time, how I scroll inactive. I don't think it's in here. Adjusting the appearance of the mouse. Pointer size. Change touch feedback. Visual. Change pointer color. It's only doing color and inverted. Mouse pointer, that's where we are. Text cursor. Custom color. Come on, somebody in chat, help me out.
I went to control panel and brings up mouse properties. Then you get buttons, pointers, pointer options, wheel, and hardware.
Okay, so I'm going to do Windows key R, control panel, and then mouse or somewhere else.
Right there. Yeah.
All right.
And that's
yeah, this is more familiar. This is very familiar. Pointers. Normal select. Okay, so normal select is that was where you're getting the hand with the fingers. So normally that the default would be that shows that way when you're hovering over a link. If we click to use default, that should change everything back to the normal defaults. It looks like what you're on right now is Windows default system scheme. And I think if we change to no scheme, that'd be more of a default mice. Now, when if we go to when we were seeing the hourglass on just when we're moving around anywhere, weren't we?
Yep. Yep.
Which this doesn't show an hourglass. I would expect that to mean that there's one of these that has an hourglass setting. I don't see it.
Link select's about the closest that I saw.
Right. Link select. Okay, yeah. So if we click on link select, can we then change that to a different? What if we change instead of, yeah, that changes it. So but that changes all of the scheme items. That doesn't change that individual item. If you want to change that individual item, because I think you can, browse. Yeah, the browse button and then choosing what you want to use, and over here it shows what they look like. So for link select, we'd want it to be the hand with the pointer finger extended, so like this one. Click OK, and oh, it's actually looks like a shaded. Couldn't tell that from here. Maybe because it had the black outline. Yeah. So there, that changes link select, location select, that's alternate select. There's busy indicator is that spinning circle. Normal select is an arrow. So there's a normal arrow. Let's go to your desktop. So did that change it?
I think it did, yeah.
Yeah. So it's a little weird how to make those changes in here and say call it not intuitive. You can select any individual type of mouse indicator and choose browse and scroll through this list to choose what you want. Or you can just choose a scheme, which would change everything in one shot. So you see it changes everything there.
Right.
And what you were on was Windows default system scheme. And on the normal select, I think you had some other option. I don't think we looked at the browse button to see what does it actually highlight any of these? No, it doesn't. It doesn't tell us which of those this one is. When you make different changes, you could save as a new scheme and you'd have a new named scheme in here. We could spend a long time just on this tab itself. But we've accomplished what we wanted to do in there, right?
Yeah, that's hourglass is gone.
All right, look at that. 3 hours and 5 minutes, and I'm fading.
Wow. I'll keep an eye on Google Drive and see when that picture shows up, if it shows up. I mean, it almost has to. The other ones did.
Yeah. And by continuing experiments like that, maybe you'll track down something else about the pattern of how this is happening. Let's see, that was J's last comment, so nothing else in orange. How'd we do as far as your original request was?
Oh, we did good on that. That's a tremendous help.
Good. I was thinking during this process, what if I were to split out a separate video of the DaVinci Resolve Google Drive issue, but that'd be kind of pointless since we didn't solve it.
Right, and that may or may not be the issue. That was just a thought because that's the only. I haven't put them on a desktop. I put them in a folder. I put a couple of them over there, and I took 75 pictures, and only 17 of them are showing up in Google OneDrive. So that's odd.
Google Drive, not OneDrive.
Or Google Drive, yeah. Sorry, thank you.
Microsoft people just are jumping up in their seats, yelling at the screen.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. Oops.
Now, do you drag those from the SD drive into the folder, or do you use DaVinci Resolve to import them and then store them in a particular folder?
No, primarily what I'll do is like right here is I create a folder and I'll put them in there, and that way I know where they're at and I can get them directly out of here from DaVinci Resolve.
Now I just switched over to your computer, so demonstrate that again.
Okay, so use this one. I put them in a folder, and then that way when I go, so this is DaVinci Resolve data, and when I go in,
slower, you're making my eyes go nuts.
Sorry. So that way when I go into DaVinci Resolve, I go to the media pool, right click, import media, and then it always goes back to the last one you were on. I go over to my desktop, go to DaVinci Resolve data, open it up, and you can double click it and it'll put it in there, and then hit open and it puts it in there. The other way I do it from time to time is I'll get rid of that picture because we don't want it. Maybe not. I'll go get another picture. I'm going to grab the chicken coop, although I think that's a video because that's an MP4. I'll just grab this MP3 and I will then just drag it into the time clip, into the one I'm using. There's about 5 different ways you can do it.
Okay, here I got an idea. I got the mouse, okay?
Yep, all yours.
You got Microsoft Word?
I do. No, I don't.
All right, you got WordPad. Good enough. Now let's see. Control Enter doesn't do a new page with WordPad. All right, so this picture never copied from SD card. And then let's do file new. Is that going to give me? No, it wants to leave that document. So let's go down. Just press the enter key a bunch of times to get to a page 2. Does WordPad do page 2s or does it just keep going and going and going? I don't know. Looks like it just keeps going and going and going. Going back up to the top then. Okay. So go down far enough to where that's no longer on the screen. This picture only copied to a folder on desktop. And go down. This picture imported into DaVinci Resolve, but not used in a video.
Right.
Okay. This picture imported into DaVinci and used in a video. Is the intention of this obvious to you?
Yep.
You take a picture of each of those sections and behave accordingly and then see what eventually happens. So we can get a handle on at what point do the pictures actually show up in Google Drive. Comprende?
Yep.
All right.
I'm with you.
Because we want to know.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to. I mean, if it's doing it automatically, I got to stop that. But more importantly, I keep my pictures not on Google Drive, and I don't want them on Google Drive. So
yeah. Well, another thing to be of interest there is if you delete one of those pictures from Google Drive, does it also get deleted from your computer? That's what that's what a synchronization would do. But we haven't seen any evidence that your computer has any configuration that would synchronize with Google Drive or upload to Google Drive at all. So because we don't know, I'd say you should be careful. Like if you just went to Google Drive and deleted all the pictures from Google Drive and then later find out a day or two later they're deleted from your computer,
right,
that would be bad news, I imagine.
Right. And the other interesting thing about Google Drive is it's only showing recent pictures, but that we can do another video on that. And I can actually go take a bunch of pictures that are irrelevant, whatever, delete them from Google Drive and see if they stay on the computer.
Right. So let's see, there's that Google Drive. You said these were only recent pictures?
Yeah, I didn't see anything. Let me scroll down.
No, let's just change the sort order. Last modified, if we change this, shouldn't we be able to do oldest? Last modified. Well, that's not much of a search order, but here we can turn this arrow upside down or right side up. So are those recent pictures or old pictures?
Those are all recent.
Now, if we turn the arrow the other way, are those recent or old?
Those are old pictures, but those are what's being used in DaVinci Resolve.
Okay. And how old are they? Let's see.
That's from last year, I believe. I tried to find properties a while ago, but I couldn't. I got preview open with.
There. July 13.
Of last year, not this year.
If it was last year, then that should be showing us a year. Could it be that
Unless it was because it says it's created and modified on the same day.
that might not be the time and date that you took the photo? It might be the time and date that it got copied to your computer.
Right, or put on Google Drive, yes.
Right.
Yeah, I remember the picture.
All right.
And then if we scroll down even further,
Well, this should be the oldest at the top.
so this party was from last year because this party's from 2 years ago, because we're at her sister's house. And then
Well, let's see if they also show July 13th
Oh,
of this
okay.
year.
um,
Just double click on any of them. And then the kebab menu. Details.
yep.
July 13th, same time.
Okay, so using the same theory, go back to the most recent one,
Okay.
which is,
just
let's
flip
go
the
with
arrow.
this one.
Flip the arrow. October 11.
Right, no year, but that was taken this past Saturday.
Yeah, all these ones that say no year should be indicating this year, and the only reason why those pictures that are 2-year-old are indicating this year is because this date is
Oh,
showing
I think I know what it might
when they were
be.
copied to your computer.
What if I sent these to my mom in a Google email and it's in a Google shared folder?
Yeah, because shared folders are on your Google Drive. That's exactly what Google Drive is. That's your shared folders.
Okay, because I noticed right here it says sharing with my mom, and I did send her. Well, how many did I send her? Wow, sent email doesn't show up in this. Can we search that?
Yeah,
How do I search it? Up here?
yeah. Just start typing our email address.
Oh, wrong keyboard. Oops. But I only sent her 3 pictures, and that was on the 11th. So that's somewhat plausible, but because this picture is, now wait a minute.
Well, that looks like those were sent as attachments, not as links to a shared folder.
That picture's not showing up. Yeah, it is. That picture's showing up in there. I don't know, Doug.
All right, it's time for.
I think I'll just make sure they're backed up in about 4 different places and then delete them off of the Google Drive.
Yeah, well, I would suggest you delete one of them first and make sure it doesn't disappear from your.
Right, I'll
computer.
take a test picture.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well,
All
I
right.
appreciate the email help.
All right, very good. We're done. Let's see. I do have a live stream scheduled for Friday morning, 9 a.m. my time, with a new person to the channel who is coming to us from India. So I'll be
Now,
scheduling that soon.
That picture I just looked at from my mom,
Yeah.
just came up and says suggested, and you opened it just now. So there's something connecting somewhere that we'll figure out.
The picture you just viewed from your mom said what?
Right. So this one right here, this picture that I sent to my mom and I opened it up,
Yeah.
that just appeared on my other computer because I got my Google Drive opened over there, and it's the very first picture, and it says you opened just now.
Oh, that's okay. That's just the top of your Google Drive is
Okay.
showing what you've done recently, what you've looked
Okay.
at recently.
All right, I'm going to close that.
That makes complete
Close
sense.
that. I don't need that. Okay, we're good to go. All right, good.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
All right. So I'm disconnecting from your computer, closing down the Zoom session, and saying
Bye, everybody.
goodbye to everybody. I'll take a last look over here at chat and clicking in Zoom right now. Goodbye, Ken. And there, and this brings me back on the screen with that, and I don't see anything else in orange from the chat room. So we are done, everybody. Thank you very much for hanging out, and I hope that was useful. If you want to reach out to me for doing a session for whatever topic you're interested in doing, the email address is at the bottom of the screen, DougBetts at LiveWindowsTraining.com. So until the next time, I'll see you later. Goodbye.